not able to get up I was.
Mm.
That's all good. That's all good.
Is my camera going to focus
Never.
at all?
Why would we?
Not
for
allowed.
something, for something important, I don't think so.
Oh, it's focusing on my hand now. So you can like, oh,
Oh,
hey, oh,
better.
I learned how to do
There
it.
we
It
go.
remembered how to focus on things. So we did.
Mason,
I got a map,
John?
bitches.
talk for a little bit.
Yeah.
yes,
For the whole
hello.
region. Pokemon.
I don't know. I've been quiet lately,
No,
and I
you're-
don't
you're
All
really.
not-
that fucking water.
You are not quiet.
No.
Double check your mic on Discord. Just
Yeah.
make
Also,
sure
your mic on Discord has been doing a lot of like echoing, where it picks up our voices.
I don't hear it as bad anymore.
Yeah, right now. But like, when John first joined, it was like real bad, like for like a little bit.
I know why. So my microphone has two specific settings on the actual microphone port.
Ah,
And I had changed one of them
okay.
from what I normally have.
It
That
sound-
should have fixed
Yep,
it.
it sounds better.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How is that in comparison?
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like better or same?
Little better.
Okay.
Lot better than what it was before you changed anything.
Fair.
But yeah. Hello. And we're oh I should post that we're live. That would be the handy
Helps.
thing to do. No.
That's
Never.
fine.
God, that's what YouTube link is that? Oh, the fucking 8-bit. Whoops. No time.
You're not like your roll funny. Most people do gym leaders, but some people will check like rival fights and stuff. But
That was kind of my.
just keep it simple with gym leaders, and you'll be fine from there.
For level cap.
Yeah.
Yeah, some rival fights are actually like base game. Even in some hacks, some rival fights are like technically lower level than a gym cap. Sometimes, it's weird.
She wants to do her first Nuzlocke, and I told her Heart Gold Silver is the fine one because Johto's fucking freelo.
Yeah, I think Emerald's also. Like, it
Emerald's
has-
not bad. I think
I mean,
Gen 4 and 5 are
Emerald,
the...
if you're not playing on an emulator, is annoying as shit.
So
Yes.
Or if you're not
I'm
playing
just
like
say-
Speed Up and Rick Andes.
I'm just saying the first time I played a Pokemon game was Sinnoh Nuzlocke. So
What I will say is, I think Gen 6 is probably the easiest. You get a free Mega Lucario.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
what
yeah,
to
no,
say.
it's-
You
You
also
get a
get
free
a-
Lucario.
You also get a
Also-
free Mega Gen 1 starter.
you also get
As
the,
one of your
the
common
EXP
encounters.
share that just exists.
I mean, like in Nuzlocke, that doesn't matter because
The
most people are
thing-
doing Nuzlocke.
yeah.
Just do it with candies
Oh,
because I'm
fair.
grinding is
But, like-
cringe and cheating is based.
I gotta talk about running bun on this podcast. This is fun.
We might hold for that stuff till
That
the
shit's
end,
stressful.
just because I want to make sure we get through picking shows tonight.
Oh,
I've
we're
done
gonna
literally
pick
nothing but
shows?
play
Fuck
Zenless
me.
Zone.
Yeah,
Zero.
we gotta pick shows. So,
I've done nothing but play ARAMs with my waifu and
so
and
if you need to hit up your boy for the cheat sheet,
Austin
He
sent me
did
to it. He
send
says
that.
it's the least prepared he's been for any season.
Yes, he is
It's a
not
good sign.
prepared for
It means
this
I'm
season.
flying by the seat of my pants, big B.
I'm going
It's
off.
fine. I think it's like this is one of like the earliest we'd be like picking shows. We're not like 2 episodes are out of everything.
2 are
We're
out
pretty
for
close.
some. Yeah, we're cutting.
This is week 2 for a
But
lot of
also-
shows.
But no, some shows don't even have an episode out yet.
Yeah.
We still have. I checked. We have 4 shows, 3 maybe. It might have been 3 that don't have shows. No, it's 4. It's 4 that don't have episodes out. They're coming out tomorrow. Everything else. So we're still like we're on good pace. We're on the pace we normally
People
would
love
be.
the fucking Russian girls. All I know from this season. That's all I know.
That-
Yeah,
show
it's
seems
got
really
2
cute.
episodes out, if
Bro,
even.
how are people already like down rating Tower of God season 2 when there's not even an episode out yet?
Well, you know why? It's because people don't understand what that show is doing. Because the show doesn't follow a pattern. It's gonna fuck with a lot of people, is all I'm gonna say.
Ocean
Hello.
Post season 2 is gonna be great too.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's us.
Hello.
We're here.
Hello.
We're live. We have a
It's
top
me.
3. If you didn't know, this podcast, we started what feels like centuries ago this season. Not really. But we started this season with 12 shows. Normally we do 9 weeks. We have 9 episodes, and then we get to our finale. This time we only had 7, so some stats are gonna look slightly different. But it's the funny enough, it's the usual stat where if it's not the 9 weeks, it's somehow always 7. That's just how we've done it. So that worked out really well. No, like seriously, we have 2 seasons prior where we didn't do 9 weeks, and both of those were 7. I'm pretty sure I have the stuff I have the stats. So I have stats this week, but yeah, we had 12 shows we started with. Last week, if you missed it, we had 5 shows, and we trimmed down to our top 3, involving a wheel, the second wheel of the season, only to have appeared again since the first episode where we had to wheel, which was also a double vote off. Crazy how that works. But yeah, so we are here. Our top 3 in the order we will be talking about them is Windbreaker, Kaiju number 8, and Yatagarasu, the Raven Does Not Choose Its Master. It should be noted that Yatagarasu is not done. It has 7 episodes. Somehow. Wild thing. It could, we'll talk about it, it could choose to end on episode 13 and I would be fine with it. It has one central plot point that they don't introduce that is essentially unresolved. Maybe 2, technically, you could argue.
Like it perfectly sets it up for a season 2.
Yeah, instead you're getting 7 episodes.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that when we get there. With that in mind, there will be spoilers. We'll do very light recap. Again, Kaiju's 2 episodes, Yata was 3, Windbreaker was 3. So, we're not gonna do full recaps of what we watched. We might summarize a little bit about what happens to the end of the show. But we'll be talking overall thoughts on the last couple of episodes, and also then overall thoughts on the show, at which point then we will move on to the voting. But before the voting, or while we do the voting, I will also be bringing out the stats sheet, which which is actually on the PR screen on OBS. So I will once I get the guessing game done, I'll bring it up so everybody can actually visually see it, and I'll post it in chat for the boys. Which usually I do all the stats pen and paper. I double checked everything though. All the math should be right. I did fuck up once. I missed a show's first place finish, but that's why I missed one of its first place finishes, but that's why I add up both the total number for a show and both the total number for first, second, and third, so that I make sure all the numbers equal the total number I need, which this week is 28. Because there are 28 chances for a show to be in top 3. And that's all that. And if you didn't know, I'll remind us when we get to the voting itself. How we do the voting for this final episode is every show, we either give it a 1, a 2, or a 3. The show that gets a 1 is the show we think is the best. It gets 3 points. The show that gets a 2 is going to get 2 points, and the show that gets a 3 is going to get 1 point. That is how we do it, and then at the end, we tally up the total number of points the shows get, and that determines which show comes out first, second, and third, or if there is a miraculous tie. It has been known to happen. It has been a long time since that has happened.
I think we've only had
1?
2?
Two?
Is
What
it
would
only
be
the
other
one?
one?
JJK Akudama tied.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I know JJK.
That's
Akudama.
the one
Was it
in my
just
brain.
that one?
I don't think we've had second place tie. We've had ties for 2 and 3
For second
together.
and third, yeah.
But I think otherwise. You know what? Even give me a second. I can tell you, because again.
I think it might just be Akudama JJK.
Let me quick pop it up. I got it here on the side. Summer 2021. Yeah, that's the season I don't have listed because I don't have the votes for it. But yeah, I think that happened. Summer 2021. Nothing. Fall. Nothing. In winter, we had a tie for second. Kek W.
But
Sasaki
what were
starts dancing.
Oh yeah.
So Bisco and Dress Up tied.
Yeah, that's
and Sasaki
what a
Miyano
season.
freestyled. Yeah, what a season.
Yep, that was wild.
And then it's just been flat results. We haven't had another tie. It's possible. It can happen. It can happen because of the fact that there are 4 of us and numbers. You do the math. That is how it works. Before we get into it, overall thoughts. I've watched, in addition to this, I've watched episode 11 of Girls Band Cry with Michael. I would have watched 12 and 13, but 13 came out today, and Michael didn't want to watch 12 until 13 came out, so I did not get to finish that show yet. Michael will gladly rewatch it with me at some point, I'm sure.
Yes.
Or him rewatch the 2 episodes, and I will finish it, because I still really like that show. Performances in episode 11 are fucking incredible.
Episode 11 is an incredible episode.
Mason, did you watch it, or were you here for it, or no?
No, it's not.
The song they play in episode 11 is fucking fantastic. It's probably the best song of the show yet.
Goddamn.
Legitimately really good, and the visual cues for that song line up fucking perfect. It's great. You get 2 performances because you get to hear the new song from Momoka's band.
Okay.
Yeah,
Which is-
Diamond Dust does also have a performance.
It's a good song. It's just,
Two
I
whole
like the other one better.
intro song.
Yeah, wild. Outside of that, because I want to keep it stuff related to the season first, and then we're probably just gonna get into talking about stuff. I have not watched anything else. I actually do largely think I want to go back and finish a couple of shows. I'm probably gonna watch Spice and Wolf. If time permits, that will be the if time permits one. Same thing, like I would like to finish Yada. We'll talk about why when we get there. I'm curious. It has me interested enough to want to finish it. I also personally am probably gonna go finish Go-Go. I am interested enough in that show as well. We were so close to Whisper. I also think I might just finish out Whisper. I kind of have to know. I gotta finish at least a second Yokohama Animation Lab show to add to my list. I can't just drop them all, surely. It would be funny though if the only Yokohama Animation Lab show I've ever finished is Magetsu War Heist.
Fair.
That would be something. Michael, do you want to talk a little bit about Girls Band Cry, or because you did finish it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I have watched 11, 12, and 13. I love that show. Like, I won't go into much about it because it isn't here and it's in its place to be talked about. But yeah, I adore that show. I think it's wonderful. I think the ending's great.
I really hope it gets
Episode
picked
11 is
up
fucking
somewhere.
fantastic. Yeah, God, it sucks that this show doesn't have like a proper English subtitles that was like done.
And it's
it's-
not picked up on a
it's sad.
streaming platform because it's only
Yeah.
broadcast.
What's crazy is that it just wasn't picked up in America. Like there are like it was picked up by like Crunchyroll. It was like Crunchyroll or Funimation, but like only in France, which is
Wild.
even weirder.
I hope that at least means eventually they'll get it. Like it will.
Yeah.
At some
It's a
point.
it's a fucking Toei show. What the hell?
It's a Toei show with some of the best CG in a
Ever.
while. Yeah.
Hey, like this matches the CG that was done in the Dragon Ball movie.
Yeah, it is Toei.
If not, it's even better looking than that. It's been a while since I watched Superhero, so I don't remember exactly how some of that looked. But Superhero looked good. Superhero is a good movie.
I don't know if I would personally say it definitely is. It's definitely not like leagues below Trigun Stampede. Trigun Stampede's fucking beautiful though, so it's hard for me to say
But
whether or
Orange
not
and Toei have two very different CG
yeah,
styles.
no, exactly, right. In
Like,
terms
these
of
are
Toei,
hyper expressive characters with the way they move
it's
and
like
their
also
facial
it's like
expressions.
comparing the CG from like the mech fights in Witch from Mercury. Like that's not fair. It's a completely
Yeah.
different style of CG.
Yeah. And the mech fights don't need to animate a person's face constantly.
Yeah. Mason, John, did you guys get to either anything else? I imagine.
No, I have not gone back to watch any more of Go-Go yet. I do intend on finishing that show though, and same thing. I'm planning on going and watching Spice and Wolf, and when time permits, I'd like to watch the subs that Michael has for the rest of Girls Band Cry as well.
If you exist after podcast.
Same here. I have not watched anything else, but man, am I dude, it's so hard seeing all the Twitter posts about Oshinoko season 2 and trying not to watch it episode by episode, even though I've already read it. But like, man, it looks so fucking pretty.
I mean, you might as
And
well
God,
watch
this
it.
arcs me awesome. No, I want to
Binge
sit
it.
down with my fiance on the couch behind me. We're gonna have a TV right here. We're just gonna binge the whole fucking thing in like 2 days, tops.
Fair.
But it looks so good. But I haven't really watched anything besides that. I've been kind of stuck doing something else instead.
I would love
Wasting a lot of
to.
my time.
I would love to watch the end of Girls Band Cry tonight, but I have to be up early tomorrow because I'm helping my childhood best friend move into an apartment tomorrow.
Ooh.
So I have to be up so that I can get there. So I should not be up late tonight. I also need to.
I also
eat and
shouldn't be
shower
up late.
after
That won't
this.
stop me.
I know it won't. Mason.
I
does-
also work. I work tomorrow as well, but like
But like, do you?
it's for
But
4
like,
hours.
what if you did?
You know, I also work for like 4 hours.
I'm off because I'm doing manual labor. But it's okay because they're providing me food and drink, which is more than what my work does. They pay me.
True.
Work pays me. And sometimes they provide me food and drink. Let's be fair. But let's get into this. So kicking us off, Windbreaker. Last 3 episodes. I want to say before you jump into it, Mason, I was worried about this show because I knew we were introducing new characters and we were setting up a hook for a season 2. Because we knew by the time we were watching this we were getting a season 2. I am pleasantly surprised with what they wound up giving me. Very happy with this, but we'll talk about it. I'll leave the floor to you.
Yeah. So the last 3 episodes essentially concern, like, okay, we're out of the, like, Shishitorin arc, I guess, and now it's introduce the rest of Furin. So we get the other 2 guys in the opening, Kiryu and Sugiura. Kiryu is gay. That's all I can say. He's a go gay boy.
He's gay, but his character trait is also being the guy who picks up gals, which is
Yes.
No, but
It's
that's the thing
wild.
is that he's so comfortable around girls because he's the gay one.
probably almost assuredly.
And then Sugiura is just muscle man. He's just a good boy.
That's his virtue.
It's his virtue. It's just being a good dude. We get their like introduction. There's a small fight with them and Sakura and like 20 dudes, as just happens in this town.
That fight's rad. That's another
It
really
is.
good looking fight.
It's a good looking fight, and it introduces like these 2 characters into like the fight dynamic super well. Just the Sakura learning about people by being in fights with them is a really neat concept, I think. And then following this, we get really the introduction into the next arc for the next 2 episodes, which are essentially one of the kids that's in Sakura's class keeps getting more and more beat up over the next couple of next few days. And also Sakura gets nominated grade captain for their class, so he's the top of the top. And we get the introduction of new gang Keel, which is
Cyber Dragon Keel.
yeah, blue eyes, white Keel.
Okay, real talk though, I dig their aesthetic and the name's cool. So this rules. This group.
They're the most twoey ass team I've ever fucking seen.
That's a fair, yeah. They came out of a Square Enix game, that's right.
Yeah, very much so. They just seem to be like capital G gang, like hurting and beating the shit out of people. Where one of the foreign kids, Anzai, one of his childhood friends, seems to be getting extorted from by the gang, so he's trying to save him and instead kicks the shit out of him. So Sakura hears this and goes, "All right, we're going. Let's go." After finding another childhood friend and watching her cry and going, "Okay, I can't let this happen." I don't know. I'm very excited for the what season 2 is going to bring with this. I think the introduction of a like actually violent gang compared to Shishitorin is going to be interesting. Also, just the squad up of the entire class. Wonderful.
No, let's get out and go do some business.
Yeah, it's so. Oh my god! When the whole squad shows up behind him,
That's-
they're like, "We're
that's-
coming
yeah.
to."
I love the other classmen just like leaning out the window, going like, "What the fuck are they doing?"
Or they look and I love just I love staring at the second year grade captain there and just going, "Yeah, he knows.
He's
He
doing.
knows exactly
he's
what they're
good.
doing."
Um,
He's wonderful. These characters are all wonderful. I love this whole group we get from this. I wish we got more of the top 4.
Yeah.
We literally get faces and names. I understand getting voice actors for literally 20 seconds of screen time would have been a crazy thing to do. But also,
it is weird to be like, let's
We got
introduce everybody
nothing
to each
from
other,
that.
and then those groups, and then the other 2 don't come over. The other 3 don't come
Yeah.
over and talk.
because of how important those 4 are supposed, it's like, holy shit, the top 4 are all here together. That's so crazy.
I have two small. I have two incredibly small gripes that do not impact at all how I feel about this show. One, because we got so long of a break from it, and it was such a, it only appeared very briefly during the Shishitori stuff.
Ishitorin.
Yeah, Shishitorin stuff. I feel like the Sakura blushing bit gets done maybe a little too much in these last three.
Yeah.
Like it's good because it's
He's
his
flushing
character.
like 50% of the time
he's-
on screen.
Maybe more, and there's not a moment where someone else is not making a joke about it. Respectfully, my God, let the man breathe. Like I like the general idea of the blush because it fits his character. It's exactly what he is. Like I really like Sakura in these last 3 episodes.
Mhm.
It gives him a good time to shine. I really like him. It's just one of the things I'm like, maybe we could have dialed it down a tiny bit. Also, and it could just be because I am too experienced with Saturday morning cartoon, Card Fight Vanguard plot points, Yu-Gi-Oh-esque, watch the cat steal the helmet, Code Geass bullshit, that I knew that was a cat the moment there was not a second that I believed that was a
That was
human
obvious.
being. Yeah, I just...
Well, yeah, it's a grandma saying it's like it's very clearly
Yeah.
not
It's a
her
classic.
daughter. She's a grandma doing it.
It's one of those
If it was her
things
daughter,
where...
she's like 40 years old.
It's one of those things where I'm like, I think all of you should have probably realized it was a fucking cat right off, or asked.
I mean,
Why
I'm
didn't
pretty
you
sure like
ask?
Suo recognized
Yeah.
it as a
He
cat.
just let the rest of the group be
He
dumb.
he doesn't say anything. He's like, let the dinguses be dinguses. They'll figure it out.
Again, none of this.
Got him
is
climbing the building. It was
Yeah,
so
it was rad.
sick.
None of this changes any of my
Yeah,
thoughts
the
about the
show's
show.
fucking rad.
The show's cool. And I legitimately really like. I stand by that. I think probably the peak of this show is the Shishitorin stuff at episodes 8 and 9, like in
For
that
sure.
build up to
Oh,
it.
yeah.
But I think that's intentional, right? Like I don't think this show was structured. I don't think the show was like, yeah, we're just gonna throw that in the middle and then we'll have this stuff at the end. The stuff at the end's still really good. Like I said,
Yeah,
Sakura's
very much
solid.
setting up for what will be the Keel stuff.
Yeah, this guy, whose buddy who's a part of Keel, he's actually kind of like a character. He's more real of a
Yeah.
character than I thought he was gonna be.
Right? Like,
He has like
it's
a
wild.
he has like a voice actor. He's like gonna be like an actual part of this more so than like the rest of the boys who are just coming along for war.
Like, he gets as much time to become a character as, like, the other 2 characters we get in this time for Kiryu and Sugiura.
And he has
like,
more screen time than Tsukishita. The
Yeah.
entirety of these 3 episodes.
yeah.
Does Sekishida speak a single fucking word
Nope.
in these episodes?
He is
Pretty sure
only
he's literally
spoken
just grunting.
once.
He grunts a couple of times, yeah.
It's real funny.
Funny bit, by the way, to me is there's a bit where Kaji is talking about his lieutenant saying, oh yeah, I'm not as good at communicating as Kasumi, and I can't get people riled up like Enomoto does. The guy he says is communicative does not speak a single time
Yeah, it's
in these
great.
episodes. It's so funny.
He's the guy with the bangs over the eyes. It's good.
Yeah.
John, do you watch
No,
this
but
show
he also
dub
pulls
or
off the
sub?
headphones in the one scene.
For Windbreakers,
Yeah.
I watched subbed.
Okay,
I watch
so
everything subbed just 'cause
you
it's
get
easier
to
to keep
experience the
consistency.
R roll.
Oh my god, the fucking R roll.
He does it a bit still in the dub. It just
It
isn't
hurts
me
constructed in
so
a way
much
that
whenever he would
happens
You
fucking
constantly.
roll
don't
his
understand
R's.
how much he does it.
It's
That's how his
literally
sentence
three-
sounded. It was
yeah.
so fucking funny.
The best bit for me in these 3 episodes, because we got to meet him briefly before the Shishitorin stuff. Like, because I remember this bit from before. The best part about it is, and I said this to Michael and Mason, it's when he's walking with the group and he says Sakura's name, and he says I don't remember the blonde hair kid's name.
B-Ray.
Yeah, he says their names and they both roll, and then he goes so, because there's no R in so he just says so, and it's the
Suo,
it's Suo. It's the combination of the 2 names with Suo's name afterwards that got me. I'm like, that's so fucking good.
Nire.
Yeah,
Suo.
Yeah,
that is yeah.
exactly.
Oh my god, dude. The second you said the R rolling, I was like, what? What? Oh no. Oh no, not that guy.
Oh, no, wait.
No, wait.
I'm excited. So I'm not the. I will say I am not the hugest fan of I have to get his fucking name. Muscle Boy.
Sugiura.
Yeah, he's kind of something.
Yeah. So I'm gonna like him. I'm gonna like him in season 2 because I'm gonna fucking love every single thing he does in a fight because it's all
Yeah.
gonna be pro wrestling. His
It's
character
the guy
is.
with the German that's so cool.
It's the guy with the German. With the German. There's
I
a
always let my
lot.
opponent
There's
hit
a-
me first.
You just have to trust me. There's a lot of actual real world wrestling references in that diner, in that little fucking shop where
Well,
he
there
gets
probably-
his protein
there's
powder.
so many
There
of
is
those
so. I mean, if you didn't know, the 2 cardboard cutouts outside, fucking Hulk Hogan's one of them
Yeah.
outside the shop. But yeah, there's. I mean, if you didn't know, wrestling's incredibly big in Japan. Arguably, probably bigger than it is in the U.S. or ever was, but it's the time period thing. It's like about almost. It just might barely be a little less popular than it is in Mexico, for what it's worth. Like you have to pry that out of their cold dead hands in Mexico. Japan also really likes wrestling, so I think that's rad. But I don't. His character is nowhere near as interesting as Kiryu's. I'm really interested in him from the new cast, and I like that he kind of gets to. They kind of get to fill the spot of Umemiya and the wind cap, one of the 4 winds. I don't remember his name either because he wasn't in the
Hiragi?
because he wasn't in the past 3 episodes, so his name left my brain. Largely. But no, I really like these 3 episodes. This kept Windbreaker on a very high for me, and I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, no, I went. Yeah, same. I went into these scared because the Shishitoran stuff felt like very much what this season was
The
doing,
end, yeah.
and I was like, what are they gonna do with 3 more episodes? You
Yeah.
can't get, and it's very much just setting up. It's the we're about to go do some shit kind of setup, kind of cliffhanger. It's good. It ends at a
Yeah.
really good spot.
It would be crazy if this show wasn't greenlit for a season 2. That would be
Right.
wild. Like, because it very.
Yeah, I imagine the show's doing amazing.
Yeah.
In terms of like, watching.
Well, probably in Japan it's doing better than it is with our general audience. It seems.
no, our general audience, no, the fucking Twitter
vocal
heads are
audience.
are being annoying because they're annoying.
Yeah.
Oh, the action isn't as cool as half the JJK season 2 fights, except it is because hand-to-hand combat is infinitely cooler than giant laser battles. But like, whatever.
That's right.
I don't know. This show's sick.
Wait till the JJK heads pop the fuck off because some of the best action they're gonna get in the next arc is gonna be hand-to-hand combat because one of the best characters in the entire fucking is a melee combat person.
True.
In fact,
Yeah.
most of this arc has large melee combat in it, but that's we'll let it happen.
But it's same thing with Twitter heads seeing that girls band cry with CG and going, nah, it's bad because jellyfish exists, and now everyone who's watched both to the end goes, yeah, GBC's just the better show. Jellyfish kind of falls off real fast after episode like 4 when it's played all of its cards.
Mhm.
Crazy. Also, apparently its ending's like super rushed and not very good. I don't know, I haven't finished it.
Sick.
That is.
I don't
Well,
feel like
that-
finishing. I don't
that is- I was
particularly
gonna say,
feel
that
like
is
finishing it,
Not
but
a show I plan to necessarily go back.
Nope.
I might just because the music in it was good. But like,
If we're good, we can hop on over to Kaiju number 8. So Kaiju only has 2 episodes, and it only needs those 2 episodes to finish what it's doing. So where we last left off, Kafka was being taken in by the Defense Force for being Kaiju number 8. And episode 11 largely is focused on the team rallying, and we learn very quickly that the team is actually still supportive of him and they want him back, and they don't view him as a horrible monster. Most of them, largely all of them. We have like maybe one person who's a little hesitant to be proven on it, but he still likes Kafka. It's not like he hates his guts. So Kafka gets taken away. We get a really, really nice scene of him and Mina together in the truck on the way there, which I think is great. And then we just get the boys. We get a really, really great scene with Hoshina where he has the entire platoon salute And one of the upper commanders is like, "You wouldn't be saluting a kaiju, would you?" And he goes, "No, we're just saluting our superior officer Mina. You wouldn't have a problem with that, sir, would you?" And he goes, "No." And Hoshino is based once again. And then we start to see some of the supporting cast try to pull some strings where they can. So Mina has our tech girl put as much video evidence together of Kafka's actual actions on the defense force. Obviously Mina and Hoshino are going to give some kind of written testimony about his work. And we see or JDF boy, I don't remember his name off the top of my head.
Ishikawa?
No.
Or no?
it's
Aoi?
it'd be, JDF would be like the guy with like the really short like brownish hair.
Yes.
That's Aoi, I believe.
Is it? His name's Blue. What a name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Kagaragi, Aoi. Yeah, we see he
That is
pulls it.
Aoi.
He calls up somebody he has ties with in the Japanese Defense Force, and it's like, "Hey, if you could, that guy's really important to me and saved my life." And we get a really good line where he's like, "Look," he's talking to Izumo, and he's like, "Look, I said I'm not letting a single one of our team die, and that man quite literally saved mine and everybody else's lives here. We owe him. And so I'm not just gonna sit here and let him get killed by the government because he's a kaiju. I don't think that matters." And Izumo's the one who's kind of like lingering, because he has his dad on speed dial, ready to maybe call up, and he hesitates kind of the entire time. And it seems like, and he even kind of questions Aoi about like, why would you go out of your way for him if you know he's a kaiju? Like, there might not be anything we can do. He just seems hesitant. He doesn't seem like he dislikes Kafka, though, at all. And then we see that they plan to send the boys, apparently just the boys, to separate, to different squads so that they can gain some experience. And Izumo questions whether or not that's a move by the actual heads, because they're worried about the influence that Kafka might have had. And Mina assures them that's not it. And Ichikawa jumps on it because he wants to get stronger. Meanwhile, Shinomiya goes and talks to her father and is like, "Please don't let this man die." And her dad goes, "He's a kaiju. Kaiju killed your mom. Tough shit. Get out of my face." And then we find out that he's actually a big ol' softy for his daughter because he goes for his interrogation with Kafka, and this starts and rolls us into basically the entirety of episode 12, where he puts on the gauntlets, world's coolest gauntlets, the gauntlets that make kaiju sounds, and they reveal that they make kaiju sounds because they're made they're made from Godzilla, essentially. It's just Godzilla.
It's just Godzilla.
This fight is so rad. So the director starts kicking the shit out of Kafka and is trying to prove to him that he is indeed a kaiju, which we learn biologically his heart is where the core is. He technically no longer has a heart, so it says. Or so it seems. And he fucking starts bullying Kafka into a corner, basically forcing him to transform fully. And then after enough of them going back and forth and almost shattering through different layers of this highly intense, fortified structure that the government has, they go, "Are they gonna break this building down? Because this is the strongest we could make the building. That's not good." And we see that Kafka gets shoved back into the inside of the kaiju. The man has no legs right now, at the point in this scene, and kaiju number 8 takes over, and brutally beats the shit out of the director, very close to killing him, and so Kafka kind of tries to fight out of it, realizing that Shinomiya is watching him almost kill her father, and he's not about to let that happen. In fact, he's not about to lose to the kaiju at all. That's the whole point in being here. And we get a scene where he's starting to fight his way out of the insides of the kaiju, only to get eaten by the kaiju, only to remember that Mina is there for him and acknowledges him, and he manages to fucking pull the last punch into his own gut, through his own gut. At which point then we see a meeting with the higher-ups of the Defense Force, where they essentially tell Mina, "Yeah, probably out of luck, we'll let you say your piece, but it's not looking too good for him here." We also know you have a personal connection to him, so we're just gonna let you know that we're making this call, not you. Don't feel bad, honey. At which point the director goes, but what if? And hear me out. What if we don't throw away perhaps the most powerful kaiju we've encountered that seems
also on our
willing to
side.
work with us? What if we run a couple of what if we put him on the test? What if we see if he has what it takes? And we end with everybody getting a nice little phone ding that Kafka has been that his execution has been postponed temporarily. The most celebratory thing you could have.
He got the Yuji treatment.
Yeah, and then the director is like, so you're gonna have to prove to me that you aren't a threat to
useful.
humanity. And Kafka goes, I'm gonna prove to you that I'm gonna be a great defense force soldier, because I still am in my mind. And then Kafka falls asleep while the director's trying to talk to him. There are some fucking stellar scenes of this. The animation
Bro,
for,
that fight's so
this fight,
sick.
it's so
Yeah.
rad. The bit where the director
Gauntlets are sick. Like,
the bit where the director basically goes in for the killing blow on Kaiju number 8, and it completely fucking juts its core to the other side of the room and reforms is insane.
Yeah.
And then we have, like, the seemingly, like, kind of full form of Kaiju number 8, where he has, like, the black and red. It's not the blue anymore. And he's, like, a decent-sized Kaiju.
where the monster's starting to win.
Yeah.
Also, we see, like, the first punch where we see, like, the monster take over, where he swings and misses, and then just rips his torso off and goes around again
God.
and clocks him.
Uh,
It's so brutal.
the OST for this fight is incredible. There's a point where they start to mute the sound when it starts going against the director in terms of favorable, because it legitimately makes you think he might fucking die. They do not pull any punches here on this. And it is incredible for how largely focused these last 2 episodes are on Kafka getting out of this situation, how much it does for the supporting cast. Because they all get their small little moments, they all get to show what they show, they get to express how much he means to these people.
We're getting a training arc.
Yeah.
Yeah. We also get
Go
the
ahead.
guy from the. We also get the guy from the first division.
Yeah,
First
we
Division
get
captain,
to
yeah.
see him briefly as he is
Yeah.
ready to
This fucking, like, gun blade that he's got going on.
Yeah.
You see Narumi, my
Narumi's
fella.
we also get the stinger for season 2, which is that the
Kaiju 9's cooking.
Kaijus are ready. They want to take back Kaiju number 8 to have him join them.
Well, they want to take back the kaiju power, is what he said.
Yeah.
They have a lot of
Oh.
different kaiju powers at their disposal that are way easier to take than just kaiju number
Yeah,
8.
we get to see Kaiju number 9. What's the mushroom one? Is he 9?
9.
That's 9.
9.
We get to see 9 play chess against 7,000 people at once. Which
Dude,
is
Really
Dude,
funny.
kaiju number 9 is just Magnus Carlsen.
Yeah.
Like, didn't you know?
He's like, holy shit, they're all.
do you
stupid.
think
Dude, this
Kaiju-
number 9 guy's kicking everybody's ass. What's going on?
Do you think L could figure out who Kaiju number 9 is?
You think Batman could solve the Kira case?
How long would it take Batman to solve the Kira case? That's the question. We know he'll solve it.
I can't express how much having Shinomiya watch her father and Kafka fight adds to everything about that dynamic. Her being in that room and her being torn between, like, duty and also trust in Kafka is, and also not wanting to see her father fucking die. The moment where she goes, oh, my dad's testing him. Oh my god, my dad's testing him, is really wonderful.
Wait, he could have just killed him so
Yeah.
much longer ago.
Everybody in the control room being like, why didn't he just kill him? He
Knock his
should have
head
just
off.
killed
Like,
him.
just stab him in
I
the
know.
core. We know where it's at.
The moment, I don't remember who says it, but someone, I think it's the director, walks in, he goes, you guys are fucking stupid. If he wanted to break out, he
Yeah.
absolutely could. Those restraints
Yes.
are doing actually nothing right now. Those are paper.
Which Kafka has,
He is voluntarily sitting there and letting us do this.
for how Kafka is, like, he is a goof. He's a big old goof.
I love when they walk in and he's just like, "Hey guys, how's it going? Can I get something to snack on? I'm a little tired."
Yeah, but like he very much understands the position that he's in, and is like never. There's like a second maybe before the director comes in, I got worried where I'm like, is he gonna like do something dumb? Is he gonna be like, okay, I've waited here long enough. I guess I gotta get out of here. I can't just sit here, because he does kind of have that thought where he's like, I can't just sit here forever. Like something has to happen. And thankfully he gets his shot.
That fight's brutal. The show finished so peak. It's great. I won't lie. I went and watched everything. I made my list, and I went, well, I made my list. Let me just take a little peek at that manga real quick here.
I was asked by a friend if I was gonna go read the
it's so
manga.
good.
I was asked if I was gonna go read the manga, and I'm like, season 2 sounds like it's not gonna be that far away. So like I'm not gonna prioritize reading it, but if I cave eventually and read it, I'm gonna cave and read it.
It's fucking good, dude. It takes you like maybe a day to get through it all.
Michael's
and,
been
like,
saying that. Michael's been saying that.
It's a very
it's so
quick read.
fast.
Yeah.
I don't know how much they're gonna have for season 2 is my only concern with the manga, so I'll say. But overall, this show's great. The manga's just as good. It basically almost 1-for-1s most of it.
Yeah. Well, for what it's worth, like we were saying,
And
they're
so
probably
you'll
gonna
love to see
pull.
that with your shonens.
They're probably gonna pull from the side chapters as well,
Yeah.
as long as the
Also,
stuff.
fun
Oh,
fact,
the
B-sides
the
is done.
Kaiju number 8,
Oh,
like
besides
the
done.
Yeah,
Hoshino- yeah, it ended, like, last
episode,
week, I think,
yeah,
right?
chapter 12 of it. Yeah, we had like it was like notification. It was like Kaiju number 8 done. I was like, huh? Oh, it was at B-sides. I went, oh, okay.
Interesting. What if he does?
That's
What if he
crazy.
does C-side? D-side.
He might do the C-sides.
What if he does the heart? Oh wait, that's Celeste. Sorry, my bad. But
Gotta-
no, Kaiju number 8 was great. I like the ending of it. I think the fight with the director is so fucking cool. Like Michael said, Narumi is my boy, and I'm glad he's here. 'Cause he's
Narumi's
great.
my fella. I love that guy.
But
He's fucking terrifying to just have
Yeah.
his presence there, and you'd be like, uh-oh.
he just shows up.
Uh-oh.
It looks like that scene from like Naruto when like Neji's about to beat up like kill Hinata, and like all the directors come up and just like hold his arm and stuff. It looked like that when Narumi showing up with like, I'll do it. I'll stab him.
I'll fucking do it.
Right here. There's like, stop fucking trying to stab him. I'm fine. Probably.
I also think there's no scene that maybe stings as much as Mina walking into the office, being told, you're here to observe, and she goes to sit down, they go, no.
Observe.
You're here to observe.
There's no seat for you.
That's
Yeah.
that is insane to do
I don't
to a
remember that scene
character.
from the manga, but man, that is such a good fucking scene.
That is wild from, like, what we know about her, that she is essentially, like, the face of, especially in this general area of Japan, she is, like, the face of fighting kaijus. For them to be like, no, you're still not, we don't like you in this instant right now.
That's really like going to LeBron James and be like, no, LeBron, we didn't prepare a seat for you. Like,
it isn't, they portray this, like, council and the people who are at the head of the defense force and everything in the proper way. Oh boy, none of them come off as great people besides the
and oh
director.
boy, do they feel like the old grizzled vets that dealt with the last like 7 number kaijus and like are like, no, we've earned our spot here. Like many people have died. We also learned that, you know, obviously we knew her mom died by kaijus. We knew her mom died fighting kaijus, I believe now.
Yeah, now we have confirmation that she was also a soldier, which I don't know if they had said prior. I want to say
I don't
that.
believe so.
They only hinted
No,
that
I
she
don't
had
think we had
died from
any
kaiju.
direct
That was her
confirmation.
motivations. They never mentioned specific how.
Yeah.
But either way, great show. I hope it gets season 2 relatively soon. It's just sick. The action's good. I like the story. Kafka's like the right amount. Kafka's a nice balance of like. Originally, I thought he was too goof, but like once this like settled in, he became less goof and more like just a guy.
He's
Like,
human.
Yeah.
He's a
just
guy.
a guy.
He's a guy in
Well,
his.
well, he was human.
He was a guy. He's a guy. But even then, you could argue, despite being the kaiju, he's maybe the most
he has a
human of the
core.
defense
He's
force.
no longer a human. He's got a core now. Now he's a kaiju.
Yeah,
He's a scary kaiju.
I like. Ew, I adore.
Also, like that, like
Kafka's
glass
character.
looking like on his chest, where it, like you can see where he punched a hole in himself and it hasn't healed through his his core hasn't fully healed. Basically, it's so wild.
This show's OST also is fucking wild. It's insane. It's perfect. It does. I think out of our 3 shows that we have here, it probably does the most we have a particular style of moment. Here's the track for it. Take it.
Yep.
Which is what you want from the shonen show, because that is what the big shonens do. Is they all have like the core sound clip that you hear and you go, "Yep, okay, bad things are about to happen. Oh, you want to make me cry now?" Yeah. But we will leave a little bit of additional conversation for when we talk about, overall thoughts at the end here. Next up, we probably have the most to talk about with this one.
Kyagarasu was did things I was not expecting, and
It did things.
it did a lot of things. So episode 11 essentially focuses on Yukia and the prince making up, essentially, where Yukia is rightfully pissed off because he thinks that the prince only picked him because of his blood, which he did. He just straight up did. He fully admits that he was looking for him to for over a year before they actually met at the palace, because he was the perfect aid for him, just because of his blood and knowing what he knew about his reputation. But he basically ends up telling him, like, when you got here, I knew instantly I could trust you no matter what, because you were not the type of person to betray anyone that you trust with, or you share trust with. They end up making up, and then the prince ends up asking him to continue being his aide after the year, and he tells him, "No, I'm still leaving in spring no matter what. That was our deal." And then we just cut to spring. Just nothing happens in those 2 more seasons. Just we're back. We then move on to the bulk of what is episode 12 and 13, which is the prince shows up at Cherry Blossom Palace and says he's picking a wife or a consort.
Surprise.
He then proceeds to spend the next 2 episodes just picking each of them apart one by one, and it's honestly great because he helps them weirdly
So
by
good.
the end.
That's crazy.
We start off with Shiratama, who I think we all had a pretty negative view on by this point in terms of how they portray her. Becomes a human again somehow.
He tricks her into thinking she's pregnant.
Yeah,
You do you, man.
insane.
It works out, I guess. It's
Okay, time out real quick before Mason finishes. He literally pops that line of, like, "You're pregnant." I went, "Fuck, she is," and then walked away. And when he got like a raise, I'm like,
Yeah,
"The
she
fuck,
is.
she is right now."
so wait,
and
that's the
then come
exact
back and pull-
reaction her aide had too.
And then I come back and pull, and he just goes, "Dude, that was a bold fucking move, lying like that." And you're like, "God damn it!" And he's like, "Dude, she's so into it that's the reality she chose."
So,
Like, I was like,
so
"Holy shit!"
He just placed the baby inside of her with his
And then they
mind.
killed that fucking guy. Holy shit! I walk away, come back. There he is. What did they kill?
they didn't kill him. Like I said it, man. I said it. No body. You don't get to see the body. They're covering something.
I give Yamaterasu so much credit for like this last
It's
couple
the
episodes.
these past like 6 episodes,
Holy
they've been just
fuck.
laying seeds of stuff at like random points in each episode, or like cliffhangers for an episode, and then they don't acknowledge it until now, and it works so well.
I
Yeah,
think.
the first 11 episodes are actually just build up for 12 and
Yeah.
13.
I
Thirteen
think.
was- mm.
I think personally, the more you don't pick up on something, the better the reveal is. So like a good
Yeah, 'cause I'm
mystery,
fucking
a
stupid.
good mystery,
Same.
you can pick up on things, and it can be satisfying. I think largely in Yada, some of the stuff isn't as satisfying to pick up on. Like again, I'm not surprised Kazumi's
We'll get
alive.
to it, we'll
I
get to
didn't
it.
think he was dead. However, what we're going to get into is by far maybe one of the best swerves that is telegraphed pretty well if you're paying attention. I fucked something up in that I didn't realize a character relation because I got a house wrong. I didn't realize he
Oh.
went to her house. I thought that was Shiratama's house. So I thought I had a
Oh, because
different...
he went to the red house.
Yeah.
Mm.
Shiratama's...
We'll get to it. Mason,
light
please
blue,
finish
yeah.
up the
Let's
red
Yeah.
keep
So,
So she's
just
pregnant.
this. So yeah, Shiratama
is not pregnant.
is not pregnant, but she
Yet.
thinks she is.
Yet.
But she wants to be.
Kasumi is alive. When he was going to go in the same night that all of the shit went down in Cherry Blossom Palace.
But he's a
And,
fucking dingus.
he's a
falls into a tree.
Yeah, he falls and breaks his leg, and the prince, with him being his like gardener, just goes and takes care of him for the next like month.
Yeah, which he is the raven that or sword
Came
boy.
and helped.
Yeah, Sumio
That's that Sumio finds by the riverside.
yeah.
Which we didn't know the context of who necessarily that was. You could have assumed maybe it was
It was assuming Hamiyu because of the
Yeah.
last thing we saw.
was her flying
Yeah.
away. So
In
they
fact,
they parallel
they
that
dropped the
really
seeds of
well.
like, oh, they're gonna try to kill her now because she's running away and she couldn't kill the prince and stuff.
But
Oh, we're gonna get like
we're gonna get to it.
these episodes are crazy.
Like,
They
Yeah,
Shiratama ends up. Wakamiya goes, all right. So with all that, I'm still prepared to make you my wife. You just got to make the choice now. And she goes, no, I'm picking my own choice. And he goes, good. That was the test. You passed. Take your own life back, please. We then move on to
she just becomes a holy woman afterwards too.
yeah. We then move on to Maso no Sasaki, I believe.
Yeah.
Who
Suzuki.
is the Western House consort, where Wakami is just the most dude bro ass
He's
frat
so,
boy
He's
prince.
so mean to her. It's
He's
incredible.
so-
Just like, oh, bitch, you want some of this? Too bad.
So she requests that Hamayu be pardoned for her crimes because she didn't commit any, and she actively was trying to defend the prince by not assassinating him.
And
And he,
Wakamiya goes, "Where's your proof?"
Yeah. Where's your proof? Also, L ratio.
Interesting. You're a whore, but if you want, you can be my whore. Is basically what he said.
So
Yeah, I don't give a shit about your pride.
So at first, this thing he says to her comes off as like a wow, that's really out of character. But when he says it again later at the end of the episode, which we'll get to when we get there, which implies that this is just a thing you have to get them to agree upon if you're
Yep.
king. Like
Yes.
this is just the truth of the matter.
They need to be your loyal consort beyond a shadow of a doubt. You're willing to take other mistresses,
Have
other people,
children,
have other children, other people, do whatever you want because you're the king. You can do what you want.
and they
But
are
the queen
not
has to be solely loyal to you and devote to you regardless. Basically, is a big speech he makes.
and, and she goes, "Fuck that."
That's
She's
just
like,
lame
I
as hell.
hate you. I do not enjoy your
More
presence.
importantly, her response is better than that because she goes, actually cuts her hair and go, "I pledge myself to the mountain spirit. Fuck you."
No, actually,
Yeah.
she goes, interesting. Give me your fucking knife. And you're like, whoa. No. And she just cuts her hair and you're like, okay, that's cool. She's like, I'm going to be buddies with the mountain god. Peace. You just have this poor servant who's just like, what do I do? Wait, I got to get you some new clothes. She's like, it's
You're
fine. We're done.
How'd they make her hotter? I don't get it.
And then she goes back and goes, thanks, Prince. I appreciate you.
Redheads, man. Anime redheads, I tell you.
They can't win, but they're hot.
We then get what is the bulk of episode 13, which is
Well, they do a
Plus-
little bit in 12.
or they
Oh,
they do a
13,
little bit.
Which I want to say, to do this in again, because the show is structuring it so well, because you tear the other two apart and you have a Sebi left, and a Sebi has been set up to be the ideal, has been set up to be the person who makes the most sense,
Has been the main
especially
character.
because Wakamiya lectures Masaho about patience. And everything is laid perfectly for it to go, Asebi, this is gonna work out, and everyone thinks that's the case.
And then, so Wakamiya ends up unraveling the threads of what's been going on of Asebi when she was trying to get Samamo to do stuff for her. They were using a Hillraven servant, manservant, that would give her information, who was, I think, in love with her? I think?
The implication seems to be probably that he is in love with her, but that also, like, she is so innocent she does not perceive the class difference between the Ravens, which we learned some things.
Yeah. She had told him on the night that they broke in, which turns out he was the one that got decapitated by the guard captain. She had told him to come and follow the red kimono, come into the palace with the red kimono, which would imply that she was telling him to go to the Western Palace, but she feigns ignorance of that because her handmaiden had pulled down the red kimono that she put up.
Which does happen. You don't have
It
to go back.
does.
We see her try to put that kimono up, and then it gets taken down.
And Wakamiya goes, "Yeah, sure, but you know she would do that. You
Because that's the other
absolutely
palace's
know that."
colors.
We then find out that she has been making like all of the big like moves that are weird stuff happening in the Cherry Blossom Palace, such as the letters were getting stolen by the princess for her, like, because she liked her.
Yeah, this moves us into 13 largely.
Yeah. And from there, she had also implied that she was worried about Samamo talking about her meeting with the manservant. To which the princess goes, "No, she's not going to do that. She's got a good head on her shoulders." And Asebi going, "Oh," and just kind of letting go and turning away and going to leave.
Dude, Asebi's eyes in these scenes, where she, when she flicks out of the act,
Mm-hmm.
and what it does to everybody around her is insane. At this point, they've also revealed the stuff with her sister.
Yes.
Because that ties back to why the manservant was told to go to the place with the red kimono, because her sister can't come here, not because she has some kind of horrific pox, but because she is no longer a maiden, is the implication. They don't outright say it, but it is very clear, and that is what she was trying to do to remove the Eastern House as well.
Mm.
Which,
and it's-
holy fucking shit.
Yeah, it's implied that Asebi wrote him a letter or something to get him to come to her, and he came into her sister's room, essentially, which is so beyond fucked. Following this,
It gets better.
we find out who killed Samamo. It was the princess who accidentally pushed her off a ledge,
You
thinking
can
that she...
fly, bitch.
Yeah. To which she did not realize that if they're wearing a kimono, it stifles the transformation and you can't transform. And Samamo gets pushed off by the princess.
Who then breaks. That
Yes.
poor girl is just gone. Like,
Mhm.
she's
She's been
not
used like
a
a fucking-
functioning human being anymore.
No.
It's hard, 'cause,
and-
like, part of it's like, I don't know if Asebi's just that dumb, or she's that conniving, or she's a weird balance of both. Like, in some of it.
I think she's just plain evil and like a
I feel
sociopath.
so too, but like, it's just weird.
Because she plays the innocent dumb. So there are a couple of things, like, like she acts like she doesn't understand the system. There's a couple of lines that are insane that come out of her mouth. Wakamiya's like, you invited a manservant into the palace to meet you. That's a tryst. And she goes, well, he's a hill raven and a servant, so it's not. And he goes, a manservant is still a man. And she goes, but he's a hill raven.
He
Yeah.
doesn't count, which
Which
is
is
crazy
the
because
most
earlier in the show, she literally has a moment where she goes, "Oh, I clearly didn't understand how this hierarchy is. I feel bad for them." So it's just like a complete 180.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, the fact that like they also reveal during this, Trish Allen Mason mentioned it, is that like the guy she sent the message to can't fucking read. So she knows that Samo had to read aloud the message and write the one back, which means now incriminates her in this, and then basically got the princess to kill her to a degree, or at least take care of the issue here.
Well, because it gets rid of the witnesses. And that's
And then after this, when she's like, Wakamiya is like, no, see, you told her to do this. And she goes,
Cosme dead because that way Cosme couldn't reveal what happened with her sister. That's right. That's why he got killed. Not Cosme, the other guy.
Kasame, I believe.
something like that.
Something like that. But there is a bit afterwards where the princess is like, no, you implied that I just wanted to keep her affection. I didn't want to kill her. And Isebi goes, oh, I'm so sorry. You misunderstood me? Oh, no, I'm so sorry.
Well, you did what I wanted to, so it worked out. But like,
Got that
What-
visual rules.
yes, there's a visual of her being like the legendary Yatagarasu, essentially.
like her mother.
Which
Yeah.
is
Which
beautiful and also incredible, like just wild animation on
and
this.
Yuki is the one who gets to see it.
Yes.
There's also a moment where when Wakamiya starts talking to Isebi that they dull the cherry blossoms, like
Mhm.
visually, which is really cool because they're very vibrant, and like that he starts talking to her and then they dull it is a crazy thing to do. The setup for the stuff with her mother to make you feel like she's a victim and this is just slander and stuff being thrown at her to undermine her and that she's in it. Like they build her so incredibly well.
And then you also have like the scene too that it calls back to it, where it's like, oh, she saw the prince as a child and fell in love with him, helping another person, and it's beautiful. And so they knew each other from childhood, and that's where they lead off with this whole issue. Is like, oh, you might not remember me. I remember. Like he's like, no, I do remember you. And let's get down to business.
There's also something about Wakamiya that if you're paying close attention, when he talks to most people, his eyes are gold. His eyes are the gold color. When he's talking to Isebi at the end and he's dealing with her and the princess, his eyes are red.
Ooh, I didn't even see that.
I didn't even notice that.
I am
Pulling up the bod right now.
I am pretty sure.
I'm checking. Mason, you continue with the last bit of recap here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
there's
we
a
still
little bit
have
more still.
well, we still have
We
like
still have a-
two big things still.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
Following this, Wakamiya then tells her, like, no, you were the worst, and goes, I'm not marrying. He then walks slightly up to where some of the the maidens are, the handmaidens, and he goes to one in the western house and goes, hey Sumi, get up, I did a good job, right? And she sits up and goes, what are you doing? And it's Hamayu, who we find out has been being sheltered by Masayu Suzuki. I don't know what her actual name is. I'm going to change it every time. And she's been posing as a servant for her. We then later find out that her and Wakamiya as children were actually friends, like really good friends, and is, I think, the same person that's in the like Isebi flashback as well.
Yeah.
But I'm blanking on this last bit. I know I just watched it, but a lot happens.
They talk privately later in the evening. where he basically outright goes, where she goes, "You were dumb. Why didn't you just take her as your wife? Like, she's the Eastern House, Masuho. She's the best option." And he goes, "Well, you work just fine." And he runs through the whole bit with her. And so she agrees.
Mhm.
Here, I'm gonna grab this real quick if John didn't get to... Oh,
Oh.
God damn it, it's not letting me. John, if you're looking in the episode count, 12 minutes will give you...
For what?
12 minutes in in episode 13 will give you the red eye shot.
So it's interesting. I'm watching through I'm just kind of skimming through. It seems like the colors just kind of get darker as a part of like the lighting, basically more so than the red.
His eyes
about
are
it, but you can
definitely
see they're
red at
definitely
12.
like a dimmer color.
Go to 12 minutes in episode 13, they're
Yeah,
definitely
13.
red.
Yeah, I saw what you're talking about. But
And then everything's good.
that's like amber.
But Yukiya is leaving.
Yep.
He's done. His time is done. We've hit the end of it. He's going home. And while we get to this end conversation with them, a girl gets kidnapped off the street and is thrown into a pit where a bat murders her. Because
Wow.
that is our stinger into the last 7 episodes. And also some dude turns into a crow in the middle of the street and kills people.
Yeah. Wild.
We got
Wild.
evil drug make you mad. Probably
Bat.
issue.
Backleburr. I'm pretty sure it's a bat in that pit. It looks like a bat.
I think so.
It has like the upper fangs and stuff, but it's like
Yeah.
it's like a huge one.
So my
It's like
guess
someone
is...
got turned into
My
that or
guess is
something.
the last 7 episodes are solving this little thing, and solving this is also going to then bring Yukiya back to the prince.
Mhm.
Somehow.
I also love Haruyu just like stalking him after the proposal. He should be like, "Ah, I see your game. You know what? Fair enough. Yeah. It's like, you're right. Now I'm your wife, bitch.
Now it's okay.
Now this is domestic abuse instead of a crime."
So I'm gonna come right out and talk about this. This is rad. This is a killer end. This unfortunately does not still raise the bar enough for this show.
It's
Yeah.
so close.
It is closer now than it ever was to the show I'm holding at number 2, but it's not gonna clear either Windbreaker or Kaiju. It's just unfortunately
No.
it's too slow of the ramp up earlier. There were too many remember, this show was on the docket to go out week 1 because it
And it
just
almost went out last
wasn't
week, too.
engaging. Yeah, but also that was the wheel to get in the top 3. That's a kind of a different thing. But yes, it's tricky because on one hand, the beginning of the show is so slow and there are parts that aren't engaging really at all, but all of it's important for how the reveals turn out to the end, where technically the end of this show elevates the beginning of it.
Yeah.
So it's tricky because the other shows don't do that. It's a completely different style of show. But still, I would be hard pressed to put this over the other two. I kind of want to some degree.
It's one of those
it's
things. I
rad.
could totally understand anyone putting this at 2 or even 1 because it's just honestly, of the last couple episodes, I think this one had the best last 3 episodes together. I think Kaiju was right there as well. I think Windbreaker obviously peaked, like I said, at 8 and 9. So that's the hard part about it. Is where do you rank all these? Where it's the other two had their different peaks at different moments and stuff, and Kaiju's obviously still building for a bigger story. Yatagarasu has obviously hit its crest here of excitement, and obviously it's gonna go down back into the plot, and then it's gonna rise up to a big finale climax in the last 7 episodes. But it's where do you put these in order now has become so much more difficult because of how good the last 3 episodes of Yatagarasu were. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's better than the rest of the show entirely because it's that mystery where it puts all the puzzle pieces together, right? And it was such a satisfying way to go, oh, okay, I see what we're doing here now.
Also, side note, by the way, I didn't mention it earlier, but his entrance into the Cherry Blossom Palace is some of the coolest animation
He's got
we got
theater
in the
kid
show.
energy. He's
Yeah,
got
right?
big theater kid energy for.
Holy shit, dude.
They also have these really big panning shots around the whole group sitting there during
Yeah.
episode 13 when he's
Mhm.
grilling Asebi. But it's give you a second to think, see everyone's reactions to him just going in.
And we don't really talk about it. He can't pin anything on her. they technically can't charge her with anything. They can't like they
All they
technically
can do is
can't.
disqualify her from it for inviting a man to the palace.
Which even then they technically might they have the letter, but like it's tricky. Like they have a lot of deniability they can have. Like the real meat of
They
it
didn't
is
kill the girl.
yeah.
They
It's
didn't kill
Also
the
straight up
Raven.
says, I cannot prove your malice.
yeah.
We
Which
can't
is
like
verify
the
that
exact
Raven was
quote.
this guy. He could have just gone missing. Who knows?
yeah, but like the fact that Wakamiya is satisfied because he's like, I've shown exactly what I need to show about you to everybody here. Good luck solving this. Now
Have
that
fun,
everybody knows.
house. This is from the Western House, right?
Yes, I believe so.
The West is
Asebi
fucking-
Asebi is the Eastern House.
the East
Oh,
is
she's
fucking
Eastern and
done,
Yeah.
dude.
East is cooked.
But like, then he picks
Yeah.
the one choice that's like, well, you're independent of all the houses now, so
Yeah.
I'm just gonna pick you. Problem solved. Yeah, all the houses hate me. Well, they're not supposed to like me. I'm supposed to be above them. So
they
Too
all
bad.
hate me anyway.
they've been trying to kill me since I was a child. Fuck them.
So largely, the other thing the show has to resolve is his mother, because she's a central conflict that the show hasn't touched on at all either. I would imagine something has to happen to because she is the only threat now, largely. We also didn't talk about it in part of episode 11 of like Yugia making up with the prince is also showing how bad shit insane and demented of a person
Atsufusa?
Atsufusa is
Yeah, Atsufusa,
because of what the hierarchy structure had done to him.
Yes.
Which is he fucking loses it.
That whole scene, I'd forgotten about it, honestly, just because of how much
Yeah,
happens in
because
these
how much happens in 12 and
episodes.
13, 11 just kind of falls away. It's like, oh yeah.
It still
like-
isn't as good as 12 and 13, but it's still
It's
still
a
good.
really good scene.
Especially because Vorkon is trying to show him that like he's trying to show him the plot of the name of the show, which is that these people don't get to choose who winds up being their master. The system decides it. People don't get to make choices. Yukia is in a good spot because Wakamiya is letting him choose. That's why everybody else thinks he's dumb for not siding with the man, because it's the most free he's going to be. It also seems like, no offense to Yukia, this is maybe my only gripe with the show, it seems like going with the prince solves his problem.
Yeah.
He's not there for the dispute of who takes over the house. He just gets to serve as the prince's aide. He can't run the house if he's the prince's aide, I'm pretty sure. I don't think that's how that works. So it seems like it solves his problem, but I guess he's worried that it'll still undermine his brothers, is the idea. But also, like... I
Yeah,
don't
because
think-
at that point he is technically higher in court than them. Weirdly.
But like he undermines his brothers no matter what. The stuff that they show in that episode where like they show all the stuff Yukia is purposely doing to make himself look inept so that he doesn't wind up causing a dispute for succession is really good for his character. Yeah, I wish I could. It's tough because part of me is like I kind of want to justify maybe moving Yada to 2. But I definitely have my number one show.
We
And
kind
it's,
of need Sean to put up the voting so we can.
yeah,
vote for
let
shows.
me get that.
Oh shit! I need to like actually decide on a fucking order.
Yeah, you're gonna get
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you guys all suffer through it the same way I'm gonna suffer through it here.
And while you
The
get
more we talk about Yada, the more I'm like, fuck, it actually could be.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, no, they can.
Yada.
All three of the shows are fantastic.
Yes.
I think any order of these three could be completely justified by anyone.
I'm not gonna be upset with what wins now. I do have like things I think should win,
So
but oh
I'm
man, it's
gonna
gonna be hard.
I'm gonna outright say this. On like a technical level of a show, I think Yada does not clear Windbreaker and does not clear Kaiju, because I think I think of the fight that takes place in Kaiju's episode 11 to 12 is maybe the best animated thing we have in this season. Like it is different from Windbreaker's animation. Like Windbreaker's fist fight animation is clean as fuck, but what Kaiju does at the end of its season is insane.
Yeah.
That being said, I I mean, I said it to you guys
We
in
should see how
chat.
it pans out.
I said it to you guys in chat. I think this is probably
Did you not even
the
touch them?
strongest like top 5
Finish them.
finish we've had in a long time.
Very much so.
And in like John said, I agree. Like, I have a show that I think should come out on top. I'm not gonna be upset with any of the outcomes personally, because all of these shows kind of killed it on their last sleep. Like, I don't want to undersell Windbreaker. Windbreaker stuck a landing that I thought was going to be near impossible for it to do, and still kept me engaged and interested, and introduced characters that I think are good, and moved into a very well done setup for another season, which is what its job was. It did a really good job on that, and it's pretty the whole way through.
I appreciate that Windbreaker ended like how it did its fights.
Yeah,
And what I mean by that is that it didn't like give us a cliffhanger per se. It got us part of the way into the new arc before it got us enough to get us hooked and get us going and then stop.
God,
See,
imagine if the
sometimes, like, I don't know if I
cliffhanger
like
was,
that more
was
or
him
less.
seeing Anzai in the classroom beat up, and they go, and that's gonna be where we go next. Like,
Yeah.
that
like
would
like
suck.
seeing Keel and just seeing Anzai and going, man, I want to see more of that.
Yeah.
So you walk out with the dudes and be like, all right, we're gonna fuck shit up.
Let's run through this real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, it's stats time.
That's time.
wait for-
Stats.
While we wait, we have so we do a normal thing here. So there are 28 chances for a show to be in top 3. So guys, we have 4 shows that got first place finishes. Let's go. Can we get them?
Girls Band Cry.
Windbreaker.
Kaiju,
Girls Band Cry.
Windbreaker.
Spice and Wolf?
I'm pretty
Go-Go.
sure Whisper Me a Love Song was on top. Oh, was it
Go-Go.
Go-Go for
Go-Go.
Mason? Like
No.
week 2 or something?
Let's
I
go,
heard
I'm not
that
that
one,
big of a
I think,
fan this
one
season.
week.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
like
Sean-
week 2 or 3.
I did the other one.
Yeah, Sean did as well.
Second place finishes. We have 6 shows.
Girls Band Cry, Windbreaker, Kaiju, Yada. No.
Yeah, I don't know if
Uh,
Yada or Spice Wolf hit a number 2.
Number 2?
Whisper Me Love
Whisper Me
Song.
Love Song.
Yeah, Whisper definitely was in.
Jellyfish?
Actually, no. Jellyfish,
Sorry.
yes.
Oh.
I think that was my number 2 week 1.
Yeah.
So you got-
Go-Go.
Yep. So you got
Did you say
That
Jellyfish,
Spice
was
Wolf?
my number 2 week 1.
Spice and Wolf.
Okay, it was Spice and Wolf. Okay.
And then
I
we
probably put
have
up there once.
and now add 2 more.
Trust
to
me
that.
for
Now
not
we
putting my shows number 1 the entire season.
Now we
Honestly,
have-
that's a new one.
Now we have 8.
I'm proud of you.
We have 8 third place finishes.
I say my shows are mid.
So we
Everything,
got,
everything besides
top.
what?
so everything that was in top 3.
Yep.
Yes, the things that didn't get it would have been. It's like Sean didn't pop Mysterious that high week 1.
Mysterious got
I don't think
bodies.
he did. He put that at like 4th or 5th.
Whisper-
But, like, I know it
uh,
wasn't that
yeah.
high.
Whisper definitely got top 3. I definitely put it up
Whisper
there.
did.
So I'm trying to think. Okay,
what was my
we had
other
4
show?
shows that didn't.
I had Spice
So
and
this
Wolf
would
and what
be-
else?
No, Unnamed Memory.
Yep.
I named
It,
Murray.
it would have been Unnamed, Bartender, Train, and Mysterious
Bartender,
didn't get
Train,
number
Mysterious.
3.
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
all 8
So-
other ones.
So Yada,
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Michael.
Yada and Whisper are the other 2 that slide
Yes.
in there. What show do you think has the most first place finishes?
Girls Band Cry.
No, it's
I
gonna be
think it's
Windbreaker because it was
I think
at
it's
least
Windbreaker.
there was doing Windbreaker almost every week.
It
Yeah,
is
Windbreaker.
Windbreaker at 10.
Like,
close.
Girls Band Cry I think had 9.
Girls Band Cry and Kaiju have
7.
8.
Say,
Oh yeah,
And then
because
Go-Go
one of
has
these wasn't
2.
the week we actually saw it.
Second place finishes. Most second place finishes.
Kaiju.
Kaiju.
Windbreaker.
Oh.
So what starts
If
happening
you didn't put it
is
first,
that,
you put it second, yeah.
Yeah. So Windbreaker has 13 second place finishes. Kaiju has 8. Girls Band Cry has 3. Spice and Wolf has 1. Jellyfish has 1. Go-Go has 2. What has the most third place finishes?
Spice and Wolf?
No.
Most third. What did we just vote off besides Spice and Wolf?
Girls Band
Cry?
Cry?
Nope.
No, Girls Band Cry was like either in 1 and
Is it
2
Whisper?
for me and Sean, or in like 5.
Nope.
No.
Probably
Yada?
Kaiju.
It is
Kaiju?
Kaiju.
Okay.
So the
Kaiju's not second,
stat,
it's probably
here's
third.
the stat line for it. Girls Band Cry, 2 third place finishes. Windbreaker 4, Spice and Wolf 1, Jellyfish 1, Go-Go 2, Whisper 1, Yada 7, which is both John and
Yada-
Mason in the past 3 weeks.
We have
Kaiju,
faith.
Kaiju 10.
Okay.
Windbreaker does not. Windbreaker misses top 3 once. What place do you think it was when it missed it?
4.
It was.
It was in
4.
fourth place. It was
4.
me week 1.
Yep. Kaiju misses top 3 twice.
4 and 5. Just 4. I think.
4 for John, I think, or Mason. It was one of you two,
I think it was
and one
me
of the
week
later
one.
week.
Oh, I put it in 8th.
You put it in 8th week 1, Michael. Yes, you did.
Because at that point it hadn't like done anything.
Which means that all of our shows, the lowest place all of
Oh my
our
god,
shows
you're like a
hit.
fucking Crunchyroll review on the fucking recap episodes.
So Windbreaker hit 4th as its lowest. Every other show got an 8 or lower at some point in
Wild.
time.
We
No
had a lot of
show.
variance.
No show had a better lower score than Windbreaker at 4, and no show was at 5 as its lowest, or 6 or 7. It was 8 or lower.
That's
Um,
crazy because that means like in the first like 3 vote offs, we must have put everything down there at least once.
Yeah. It's,
Yeah.
Yeah, I had Yada at 11 week 1.
Here,
Which I
let me-
think wasn't an uncommon place for that.
No, I was the only one who had it out of bottom 4.
Yeah, so there's the breakdown of that. For you guys.
Because week 1 was very much the it's the beginning of Kaiju. We haven't gotten to any like the fun stuff yet.
So that total is total amount of possible top 3
Top
finishes.
3.
So it's 28's the number it can have. That's how. Yeah. So Spice and Wolf, for what it was worth, did not break top 3 a lot. It was middle of the pack most of the season.
It was- yeah,
up
it was
until
like-
the
yeah.
end.
Generally, like in that like 4th or 7th spot.
It's a
probably.
very good, solid show. And I'm sure it probably ramps up in the second
And
half.
I honestly
which is why
think-
it's like
I honestly think
critically acclaimed. But
one of those top 3 finishes is from me or Michael. It might be both of us, honestly, at
Uh,
some point
I
For what?
wait for
Spice
which.
Wolf?
for Spice and Wolf.
one's
I never
definitely
had it
me.
in top 3.
One's definitely me.
My
Yeah.
highest was a 4.
Actually, no, it might not have been me either. Let's see, where is
I'm
it?
probably looking at my list. That's how
yeah,
I knew
so
exact. That's
John-
how I know these exact numbers.
John
like
had it
Windbreaker
at
and 4 for
3,
me.
and let's see when it. When did it get its second place finish? Oh, John both times. Nope, yeah, it was John. You had it second week 1. That was where
You know.
that was where that
Yeah.
came from. But
Week
yeah.
1 has some of the funniest own show bias I think I've ever had. All 3 of my shows were in my top
So
5.
for what
week
it's
1.
for what it's
Honestly, the
worth,
Or 1, 2, and 5.
for what it's worth, Michael could only have put Girls Band Cry in first place.
7 times?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm like I have it 7 times on my
Or
PO.
6 times? No, 7.
Yeah, because even though we didn't talk week 6, we still did the PR for week 6
Yeah.
for the episode 9s.
So that other, which also meant that any other placement for Girls Band Cry in top 3 couldn't have been Michael. So that other first place finish was me. And the second place and third place finishes come kind of from a couple, me and Mason, I think, across the board.
Yeah.
Again, obviously. Yeah, Yada never peaks over 3rd. But that's just, again, the nature of. That's just the nature of it. Hey, why aren't... Oh, you know what? It would help. It would help if I opened the voting doc officially.
Maybe.
Not just have the actual editable form open, because that's what I did. I'm like,
yeah,
why
I was
won't
like,
it...
why can't I
I'm
vote?
like, why won't it let me vote? How did I rake this against myself? That is that. So then let me get the tally up.
Amber. I'll kill you. I'll kill you. There's a story behind this, and I can't say it because if I put it out there publicly on video, then technically breaks HIPAA laws.
Oh my god.
Okay.
which means I would never say anything with regards to my job or patients outside of my job. Let me put that on record. Because that would be wrong.
Just make.
Anyways, guys, completely irrelevant to that. I have a funny story to tell you after this.
You can tell. Oh, is this something you can't share on the podcast?
No,
okay.
technically
Sean,
no.
Sean was not listening to
You're
the
right,
It's a
I'm
work. It's a John
No.
Work story, and John Work stories are technically not podcast safe because that breaks HIPAA laws.
They're technically not safe at all.
No. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just double checking some math here quick. Yep, that works out the way it is. The results are in. And the results are, Yada comes in third with a total of 5 points. Windbreaker comes in second with 9 points. And Kaiju number 8 comes in first, just squeaking out with 10. Very close run. Very
We'll put
close.
you out a second. Who did it?
Mason.
Yeah.
Honestly, fair.
Fair.
That's
No,
fair.
it's fine.
Look,
No, like I
that-
said, I'm not gonna be upset
Okay,
by
that's
any of the
perfectly fair.
results from this. This was a stellar top 3, stellar top 5 even.
Oh, okay. That means Mason put Kaiju third, and everyone else did Kaiju first.
Yes.
Okay.
That's how
I
it's
was, I was
10.
like, wait. How does Kaiju have 10? My brain just went 2 first, 2 second. I went, wait, no, that doesn't work. Then wait a sec.
Yeah.
Because I knew how Sean voted. 'Cause I had an idea coming in when Sean was voting.
I'm sorry, and I do wanna say, having Kaiju is difficult because I promise you it's not own show bias, dude. I went to re-grab that screenshot. We watched Kaiju a week ago. I was talking to a coworker at work, and I was talking about how I really, really like those last 2 episodes still. Like, I haven't watched it for a week. It's still fresh in my mind. I briefly, because he's read the manga, I brought up parts of the fight scene, and I was like, God, it's so fucking good. And I was explaining to him how Michael and Mason and I were watching Kaiju, and the fight is happening, and I paused the episode because I went, are his gauntlets making Kaiju noises? And I unpaused it, and they weren't. And then later they showed that they are. And they just were selectively making Kaiju noises for certain impacts. And that was a rad thing to, like, hear watching the show, was to hear that sound effect and go, what the fuck? Because it's cool as fuck. And that whole entire ending is so rad. I adore that show. Like, even outside of own show bias, if that show wasn't mine, I would be putting it number 1. Like, I don't...
Uh-oh.
Like, if anything, if Yada was my show, maybe I would have put it 2. I won't lie. Maybe
Look
I
at
would.
Mason, guys. Look at the
I
camera
almost,
before he DCs.
I
Oh,
almost,
You know,
I almost put,
face.
I almost put Yada as 2. I won't lie.
yeah. I also was thinking. I was like,
I was so close. But like, you know,
it very
I'll be
much was
fair.
just a. Yada was so low, and it feels so weird to be like, yeah, Yada. It was all slow setup for an ending like this.
I
But
don't want to say
There's
that,
so
like, a
much
show-
that happens, and my brain just like.
It's tough because I don't want to say, like, oh, a show can never have a bad start and come out on top at the end. Like, because that's not the case. It's just that you can't do it when your competition.
I think
has
other shows
been
are just not
stellar.
as low either.
Yeah, when your
Like,
competition's fucking sprinting from the get-go. Like,
Like, it is a feat that Yada got here, and it's an impressive one. And if you have like no understanding and like everything we talked about with Yada just made your eyes glaze over, go watch the show and experience it, because honestly, it's worth checking out. Or if you
It very
didn't
much
listen
is.
to our discussion on Yada because you didn't want to get spoiled, and you're here for the end results, go
Too
watch.
bad! They all
go-
die in the end!
go-
They're actually ducks!
that'd be a crazy plot.
Go watch
Yeah,
Yada.
They're really
Type
fucking
beat.
Yada is worth the watch. Especially, I feel
Yeah.
like that is a good show to binge.
Well, let's
as
wait until
well.
the other 20 come out to see if it's worth a watch. But up to the first 13 episodes,
Up
definitely
through
good.
13, fucking amazing.
Yeah, we can't
It
talk
was.
about the other 7. We don't.
Yeah, and
We don't go that far
Four
in
of them
shows.
aren't
For-
out yet. I'm pretty sure.
For
at
what
least.
it's worth, by the way, I've already rated the stuff on Mal. Kaiju sits at a 9. Windbreaker is at like an 8.5 if I could give it, so it's at an 8, and Yada's at an 8. That's
I ended up
where
finishing
those
point
were.
rated, but yeah.
That is where those
Fair.
are for me.
See, I don't like doing point rating because that would make me have to go back and redo all of mine because I have so many things
Yeah,
in like
it
really
takes
weird
a minute.
numbers from forever ago.
I just ignore it. I just ignore it. I just say, yeah,
That's fair.
sure.
No, because I have a bunch of things in 8s that absolutely should be out at like a 6.
Yeah, that's just
Like,
how.
I think my lowest rated thing outside of like, so the bit is, on like if you were to look at my my specific anime list, X-Arm and my Setsu are both 10s.
Yeah.
Because
No, I don't know.
No,
Those are
no,
10s, dude.
X-Arm's fucking perfect.
Look.
It's the worst thing that's ever been made, and it's perfect.
It's
Look,
definitely
it's-
definitely in the
it's
tier of
too
it's so
much
bad
fun.
it's good.
It's
And
like,
my
with
Setsu
me,
made
I have-
one joke, and that bit is still funny as shit on this podcast. We did the it still works. They perfectly understood what an inside joke is. Now repeating the same bit over and over will eventually be funny if it was unfunny originally.
It's actually unironically we realized that like half a year later when we randomly did the bit from that show and we all laughed at it and Mason was like glazed over not knowing what the fuck we were doing. We're like, wait guys, my Setsu was right the whole
Wait, my
time.
Setsu-
It is funny if you do it enough.
No, and then like that season, if you go to my anime list, I have a review I wrote for my Setsu that I sat there just padding out word count to go, this is the greatest thing ever. I watched one episode of it. But that
It's
bit
a good
is the
review.
funniest thing it's ever done.
no,
And
it's
true. It is.
look. I have the same problem. I have Gakuen Handsome is a 10 on my list as well.
No, but like,
Again,
what do you mean?
none of
Ending
these are
where a
wrong.
person gets stabbed to death by his chin?
Yeah,
Hello?
No,
Greatest anime ever, 10 out of 10.
I try to keep mine pretty accurate. I won't lie. The thing that is fun for
Same.
me is I have to double check where I throw it. Sword Art Online is sitting at a 6 for me. So it's one of those things where it's like that's your
Fair.
threshold. Are you better than Sword Art Online, like the
I
first
think-
season?
I think that's where I have Sword Art as well.
And it's like
Sword
and
Art is
there-
like the threshold of
I
like
just
good
want
anime.
I want to throw out a couple of things that are sitting in the same category as Sword Art Online from my anime list. A bunch of the OVAs for Prince of Tennis, new Prince of
checks.
Tennis, Card Fight Vanguard Legion Mate, Card Fight Vanguard G, Days. Which, Michael, did you know Days and Giant Killing are still ongoing mangas?
Good for them.
How?
Honestly, kind of based.
What?
Why
That's
not?
even crazy. The Giant Killings anime, I'm pretty sure it's from like 2011 or something.
I have
It's not earlier?
I have Sorcerer Stabber Orphan in there.
So in 7, I have
Mangetsu War
such,
Heisirst.
in 7, I have such wonderful shows as Akashic Records of Bastard Magic Instructor and Death March to the Parallel World Rhapsody. Next to things like Durara X2 and Card Fight Vanguard Link Joker. I don't know why I have that as a 7. Link Joker should be like a 9. Link Joker's fucking wonderful.
Link Joker. Where
Like,
do
oh, no,
I have? Hold on.
The
where
first
do-
half of Link Joker's amazing.
Where do I have Link?
And then the second half exists and is pretty cool. The part of Link Joker before Link Joker shows up is honestly better than the part with the Link Joker stuff.
Where the fuck do I have?
This is in the same fun fact. So number 7 again, all the same spot. This is where I have Somali and the Forest Spirits, Soul Leader, Noragami Season 2, Noragami Season 1.
So you're nice. I have Somali at 6.
This is also where I have 7 Deadly Sins and 7 Deadly Sins Season 2. These are all exactly. Then I have 6 is right under that, where I have such beautiful shows that Aldo Zero Season 2, Attack on Titan Season 2, Freezing Vibration. I watched both seasons of Freezing.
Freezing.
You know-
Freezing vibration.
I was 13.
You wanna know what? You wanna know what things I have worse? I have worse than a 6. This is like my. This is where you have, and this is stuff that I have completed. By the way, I've watched all the way through. These are the 4 things that I have sitting at a 5. Nodame Cantabile,
I mean, fair.
Card Fight Vanguard Asia Circuit.
You're same.
That
Both of
shit
these also have
sucks. That shit sucks. Peach Boy Riverside,
Oh.
which if
What
you
what about if you watched it in order? How about what would
much
people do
better.
then?
It's like I think I say it's like a 7 or an 8 if you watch it in order. It goes up immensely. Buchigire, like the samurai one, you didn't
Oh.
finish. You didn't finish it. You don't have a
That
right to
one.
react to that one.
Yeah, these
If
two have
you-
said that shit goes.
Let me tell you, if
The
you
last
did not
3
watch
episodes.
the end of that show, you don't understand how much worse it gets from the kind of mediocre it was. And then the only thing I have below a 5 that I think is legitimately deserving of being below a 5 is the Wonder Egg Priority Special out of 3.
So, I have 3 things rated below a 5 currently. And I have 3 things rated as a 5. I have, for 5s, I have Attack on Titan Season 2, Full Metal Alchemist the movie Conqueror of Shambhala,
Yeah, Conquer Shambhala movie.
and Fire Hunter. 'Cause,
Oh, Fire
ooh.
Hunter, I remember that one.
I finished it. Oh my god.
Bad.
It just ends. It just ends.
Which sounds like exactly how that show would go. To
It's
be
getting a
honest.
sequel, isn't it?
Yeah, it's getting it. Season 2 is actually airing right now, I believe.
Crazy.
Or it just aired. I'm not gonna watch it.
I don't know.
Um,
I'm gonna
You
be
guys
honest
really
with you,
like that
I don't
one.
know who is.
I did.
Yeah.
My 3 shows that are below a 5. I have Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya 2009 at 4.
Dude, it did not age well. I'll be
It did
honest.
not.
Having watched that back, I thought it would be better. It did not age well.
And then the Wonder Egg special at 2, and Tokyo Ghoul Route A at 2.
All
I
right.
don't think I have the special rated
So
separately.
my
'cause I
lowest,
don't
my
know
lowest
if
scores.
Mal
I have
had
a
that
number of
rated
4s.
originally.
If we're gonna go 4.5, we'll start with 4.5 because like the bottom of 5s are like Seraphim of the End, the 2nd season, I think. Sing Yesterday for me. Sukakakure is down there. It's fine, but it's like not that good. And then we get to like the 4.5. I do buy half ratings too because I'm weird like that. You have some of the Familiar of Zero seasons, which if you haven't seen that show, don't. It's old and dated and very cringe. We have Other Side Picnic at 4.5. 2 seasons of Familiar. At 4, we have leading off Nisekoi season 2. I know the manga's good. I get it. The anime sucked ass season 2. It's just a bunch of filler. It was just a ton of fucking filler.
Yeah, I was saying, I've never watched Isekai. I don't know at all how
We
the
have
anime goes.
at
Manga's
3.5
great.
we have Tokyo Ghoul Rude. Below that is Infinite Stratos at a 2. Below that is Wonder Egg Priority, My Priority at 1.5. And then at 0.5, the lowest one on my list is Himoto Umaru-chan.
Hey,
The lowest rated show.
Mono-chan seems like a thing I would love,
It's
but I
so
understand why it's
fucking
terrible.
Stupid and terrible. Oh,
Hey.
it's all kinds of just bad.
did you guys know that we here on the podcast were incredibly excited for Wonder Egg Priority and loved it immensely as it was airing until
For
it hit
6
the end,
episodes
and then we all watched the special and
together.
quite literally wanted to rip that show in half. It just didn't. Oh,
We all, I think, I don't know
Never
if we
been
all
more
watched it together, but I know John and I for
I was
sure did.
so offended by that.
Yes.
I think we all at least watched it in pairs. I don't think Michael and I
Yeah.
watched that alone. We definitely watched
No.
it together. I think we
So
were
I
dorming
definitely watched
together.
it with someone, and I definitely it's crazy. The first half, it's a fucking
Michael and I.
recap again.
Michael
That
and
was
I.
crazy.
Michael and I love the first half of the actual show,
Yeah.
and
That's
I
what
know.
I do too.
And I
I think
know.
up until up until like where you're very much setting up what you get to like this should be setting up for a conclusion where it goes, no, we're gonna add like 17 new plot threads now.
I know.
and then
Michael and
It's
I
great.
are
The
a little.
special adds 14 more and answers 0 of the original and just throws
and
half of them in the
half a
fucking
recap.
garbage.
It has
Hey,
to
did you know that the
be
girl's a
recap.
robot now? Where there were 0 what? Why?
It has no emotions. It was
My-
robot the whole time.
So Michael,
Joke's on you.
I think I am particularly more up on some of the end stuff of original of the actual main show of Wonder Egg. Like I'm down for some of the stuff with Uranaka.
I do
But-
like the end. It just
I know on the
they could have
podcast,
concluded it
I
with
wasn't
40
as
minutes of
harsh.
actual content.
Yeah. It's insane. I don't think I've ever seen something be handled worse. Shout out, by the way, to a show that that after looking at my list, I might move down to a 5, Babylon. That show's only sitting at a 6 because its first 5-7 episodes
First
carry
7
it so
episodes are
hard.
peak.
And then no one but me has seen the end of that show because of its production issues.
I mean,
Everybody
me and
else
Mason watched
forgot it
Full Dive
existed.
to its completion. I gave it a 5.5. That show was garbage, but man, was it a good time.
I gave that a 6.5, weirdly.
Wandering Witch got a 6 for me.
It's
the
in there
funny things
somewhere.
I have in this low section at a 5. My list actually says this wrong because I got the names wrong when I did this apparently. I have Durara X2. I'm a part 3, like the third arc of it. I have that at a 5. Because it literally just keeps doing fucking nonsense. It adds so many new stupid bullshit constantly. Maybe I should
love stupid
rewatch
bullshit.
Durara because when I understand X2 just the general ratings at X2 gets better as it goes on. I didn't fucking care about Arc 3. I have Nodame and Vanguard Aegis Circuit. Aegis Circuit's fucking terrible.
Let's go.
At 4s, I have In Another World with My Smartphone, which I've watched twice for some reason.
I've been
Again,
there.
I was like 13.
Of course, you gotta see it twice.
And also,
Just to
Record
make
of
sure it's
Ragnarok.
bad.
The first season of Record of
Oh,
Ragnarok is
Michael
legitimately
hates it
fucking
so
terrible
much.
until it's outside of the Atom fight. It's fucking terrible.
I adore that Michael and I have. So what it was worth is I went into watching Asia Circuit with Michael and I went, I don't remember this being too good, and we both watched it and we went, oh my god, holy shit, this is so bad. And I had to like convince Michael. I was like, dude, I promise you, the rest of this show is good. And Michael was like, damn, you're right. He's like, damn. He's like,
you
Lake
hit season
Joker goes
3, and
crazy.
the immediate like jump in quality from the end of Asia Circuit to the first fucking episode of Link Joker is crazy.
Like
And they
visually,
things I haven't finished
story.
and given low ratings. 'Cause generally, I stopped rating things I haven't finished. Like there's a bunch
Yeah.
of things from podcasts I had rated. Like I have a 243 Arena, my set to an X armor as a joke. Like Comey, Dungeon Boonies. Crazy, I've done Comey and Dungeon Boonies with the same rating. That's wrong.
That's a choice.
Those are both 7s.
Oof.
But like a major thing I didn't finish that I gave a 4. We have Food Wars: The Fifth Plate. Legitimately some of the worst anime I've ever watched. The story finishes after season 4. There
That's
is
what I've
no
heard.
story to tell post season 4, and they made a whole season out of it. I don't know. Then I have Love of Kill at a 4, A Scar on the Crater
Love
at
of
3, and
Kill.
Vintage Sango is a 2.
So I don't rate any shows I don't finish
Yeah.
completely. I
Yeah,
just
Yeah.
delete
Again,
them.
these are things I
only-
did forever ago, but
the
Food Wars
only
deserves that. I should probably
the-
drop it lower.
The only show I have rated that I have marked dropped is Darker Than Black 2, which I intend to go back to actually give a chance because I found out there's OVAs that are important in between those two, and perhaps that'll make me actually not want to gouge my eyes out when I watch the second.
So I have a few shows that I don't have rated drop, or that I haven't watched full the way through dropped. So I have Great Pretender episode 1 at an 8, only episode 1. Space Patrol Lulico, which I got halfway through at 7 because it's just funny. It's just shorts. Bleach at 270 out of 366 episodes at a 6, along with Skate the Infinity at 6, Spy Classroom at 5, Sword Art Online at 4,
I have to push, but I get it.
because I didn't finish all time. I just couldn't. I watched
That's
Aincrad and
fair.
I was like, this is fine.
It is. It's fair. Alfheim sucks.
Yeah, that sucks.
That's why it's
Um,
so
it's
low
almost
for
like-
me.
It's almost like tossing out like the whole reason there was like any interest at any capacity through the base
What if
stuff.
they took
was,
the
like,
best character and just removed her?
Yeah.
And made her a sex object.
See,
That'd
see
be
that's
cool,
not
right?
even like a big.
That'd be
I
cool,
mean,
right?
I get. I'm too tainted by SAO Abridged being fucking peak.
Yes,
and like
true.
actually writing the Asuna scenes in that to be fucking amazing moments. But the fact that they just removed the permadeath thing throughout the entire Alfheim thing, but then still try to make you feel sad about characters dying. You know the really important moment where I'm a little shit kid. I don't remember his name, because he's unimportant, and even in Abridged he's unimportant.
I didn't know
two
was coming.
I expect his dark magic to do a nuclear attack in the raid to him to open a hole for 0.2 nanoseconds to get Kirito up.
Yeah,
It's like,
no, it's
oh
right
no,
there.
what's the downside? Oh no, his respawn timer was doubled from 5 minutes to 10 minutes. No, what?
Last thing I want to say about this little tangent we've gone on before we move on to picking shows. I want you to know
All right.
the general Mal rating from Nodame Kantabali is an 8.26.
Yeah, it was. That's all by
Because-
women who thought the main boy was hot, and like fair, he is.
And I want you to I want you to understand that if not for the end of that show, Michael and I would probably have it lower. The end of that show where they remove Nodame as a character for the last
But
50...
they remove her and then bring her back as a different character who's infinitely more enjoyable to
Crazy.
have on screen.
But the amount of time, the section in which she is not there is by far incredible. It's great. It's a wonderful music show. And the fact that Michael and I share the exact same opinion on that dog shit show that we were forced to watch at gunpoint makes me happy.
What's even better is
that the person who held us at gunpoint did not watch.
That's amazing.
They held us at
Was it
gunpoint and
Bobo?
went, finish this. And we went, sure, are you good? And they went, no.
Was it Dylan?
No.
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 This was part of the first ever
Off-season.
unrecorded off season. This was the first How Good Is that we never did anything with.
I missed Dylan.
Yeah, this was another, it was supposed to be another, Nodame,
What the fuck did I pick? Oh, this one I picked Made in Abyss.
yeah,
And Fuka.
and Fuka. And for what it's worth, me, Michael, and Elvis watched all 4 of those. Well, Elvis might not have actually watched Made in Abyss. We're not too sure about that one. And I don't think he finished Nodame. But, which, to be fair,
Can you blame him?
no. But with
I feel like
this-
I'd like Nodame more going back to it now that I've watched
oh,
more
for
things.
Sure.
But
Probably appreciate
also,
some, like the like ambience. I guess.
Nodame's main pull is that the main boy is a really well-written character. So if you are, it's very much a shoujo, or I think it's technically a josei, whatever. Like it's very much,
Jose.
it's very much. This is a guy you are going to be attracted to and thinks really cool if you are a woman. I was
I'm
not
attracted,
attracted to him.
not a woman.
I was not a woman at that point.
Yeah, you,
At that point, Michael, you can't say that today. That's
You-
illegal.
you know, you know what? Genuinely, now that I'm bi, I might like the show more.
Maybe.
Honestly, base Sean.
I'm just saying. Oh yeah, based. I forgot. We're gonna fucking mute this tab. We're not about to have a
Over
time.
here, the click.
Live streaming,
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome
boys and girls,
to
gals and
new
pals.
show selection. Sometimes I split this into a separate VOD. I don't feel like doing it tonight, so it's just gonna be shoved in at the end here of the finale. So we're gonna be picking shows for summer 2024. That's right, summer is back. The summer is not dead. It's been 2 years since we've done, almost technically 3, I think, because we missed 2 seasons.
Yeah.
So it's technically 3 years since the last summer season we did. So if you're new to how we do our show selection, it's dumb. Welcome.
Yeah, we're fucking.
It's really dumb, and we always question how we do it every single year.
No.
So
We do
we're
it. We
gonna
do it the
spin
most
this
obtuse
wheel.
and long way
Yes.
possible because we're dumb.
So
and
we're
it's
gonna
funny.
spin
I
this
think it's
wheel,
funny.
and the person who the wheel lands on does not pick first. And then we're gonna spin it again until we get down to the last person on the wheel. That person will pick first, and then that person will get removed from the wheel, and we will then spin it down again to determine who picks second and who picks third, and whoever is left over will pick fourth.
In the same way.
And then we will snake backwards in our show's selection. So the person who picks fourth will then pick, and then third, and then second, and then first.
See, all does that make sense, Sean? Now, where's
No,
the confusing
that part
here?
makes sense. But then we have to pick a third show. And how we
Yeah.
do that is we put everybody's name back on the wheel again and we spin it. But instead of spinning down, this time we spin the wheel and whoever it lands on picks first. And then we spin it again and whoever it lands on picks second. And we spin it again and whoever it lands on picks third. And then we know who picks fourth.
Sean, I
because-
don't see where the confusing part comes.
No,
it
it's
seems all
really
very
simple.
clear.
This really
It's
makes sense.
very
You got
clear.
some spice in there.
It's not like we've done it for 5 seasons straight, if not longer, and we just have become a master
Dude,
at
isn't it
this.
crazy that we make the same joke every season too about how
Because it's
funny it is that we do
still
this?
funny.
And it's only funny to us four.
Somebody one day will
Much
find
like
this pod.
It's
somebody,
only funny to like us 4 people.
somebody one day will find this podcast and they'll go, "This is insane. Why
This
did
is
they
the
do
greatest
this?"
bit.
Yeah. With that in mind, let's spin the wheel. We're gonna find out who's not picking first.
Okay, I got.
Aw, damn, I'm not picking first.
And I don't know how personally.
That's fine. I didn't
everybody-
want to pick first.
Yeah.
Realistically,
I don't know how everybody feels this season, but I.
'Cause if I pick first, I feel like I'm pressured into making a choice
I
first.
Mason, I can't tell you, the first time I looked at Austin's document, because I try to avoid all the spoiler stuff until we pick, because it's more fun that way. First thing I see is just a picture of feet. And now,
Beautiful.
it's not like hidden in the bottom, it's not like somewhere else,
Come on,
it's literally
come on,
the,
come
like
on.
the third thing on the list.
John, you're picking first.
No, fuck.
No, don't worry. You got time to look over stuff because we have to decide who's
We have to
picking
do-
second and third.
We have to do another 2 spin down.
No, because I had two options. One is to pick the funny show that I see on Twitter all the time that everyone's flipping out about because the Stepsister is
it.
based.
Do it.
The other one is to pick the funny show that everyone's flipping out about because funny deer. And so I'm about to piss off 2 people in this podcast probably.
Man,
It's fine.
I'm gonna wind up satisfied this season. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh.
Okay, Michael or Mason, who's picking second?
Boy. It's Mason. I can tell everything. Stop me.
Michael, you and I are winning this season. Not like actually winning, but like we're having a good time.
We're having a time.
Okay, Michael, you and me. Reminder for viewers
I
at
did-
home: whoever this
What did I
lands
pick
on,
first in the season? I don't know.
Votes
Whoever-
fourth.
whoever this lands on, it picks fourth, which means they get the back-to-back pick
Yes.
because Snake.
You know what's funny is that me and Mason before this were like kind of fighting over who was gonna get to pick a show.
The answer was neither.
Neither of us want to pick it first.
Yeah.
Neither do I.
There's so many things to pick.
Okay, here's the thing. So for perspective, so the show that we're talking about is My Dear Friend, as it's like
Nokotan.
Dear, Nokotan, and the other one we're talking about is Alya Sometimes Hides Her Feelings in Russian.
That's the other one.
Both great for their
I
own
wasn't
choices.
even talking about that one. I
So-
was
so
just
the
talking
one
about
I'm
Nokotan.
talking about is that one. And so the reason why I bring them up is because that's the one with the feet pics, which to my buddy Austin's credit, the comment he put in our me and Mason's DMs for his list of shows is it's a rom-com that very much does rom-com things, but here's the selling point, and it's just a picture of feet. And I don't know what that says about me or me to Austin, but that's not my interest.
John, you are
Really?
gonna have to decide soon.
All right, Amber. Thoughts on me picking Deer Show? Picking Deer Show. There you have it.
That sounded like an absolutely.
Okay.
So John
absolutely
gets
pick your
to
show.
snag the meme of the season.
To all the viewers out there's normally a bit with me. Oh, we're not gonna we're not my pick yet, but there's normally the bit with me where I am legally obligated to pick a PA work show if it exists. Sadly, there are 3 this season, and
That
I'm not
sounds like
gonna
a
pick
solution.
all 3 of them.
I see no problem with
You
this.
don't know, you might. Mason, do you know what you are picking?
I do actually, and it's going to be an unexpected pick, I think.
Oshinoko Season 2.
I'm going to pick Shoshimin.
What is this?
Yeah. Nope, that's... So John, this is by the author of Hyoka.
Shoshime? Shoshime?
Oh, How to Become Ordinary. Shoshimin, How to Become Ordinary.
Oh, Shoshime. Okay.
So this is
oh,
by
yeah,
the-
I did see some
Yeah,
of this.
so this is, he wrote this before Hyoka. John, you and me as the two you've seen Hyoka, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you and me are gonna, get Flash.
Where's my
made.
Hyoka Season 2, man? Where's my fucking Hyoka Season 2?
You and me, what do you mean? Free. Free got one instead.
Yeah, I'll let Sean get what he wants. I'll let him do it.
What? You can take it if you want it.
No, I mean, I also don't particularly want it. I mean, one of them I do think is gonna be sick. The other's the fantasy show that is the Sean thing.
Is the Sean.
Yeah, no. What do I pick here?
What are you most worried about someone else taking from you?
Well, that's the truth. I don't care if anyone takes things from me. I just want to watch good shows.
I just want to watch good shit. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
See,
Yeah.
the issue is that there's 4 things. 4. Yeah, that I can count. Yeah. Oh, that I really want to
You already
pick.
have 2 shows you really wanted taken from you.
And that's the thing with Nokotan is that I want to watch it. It's gonna be fucking stupid. It's gonna be the greatest thing ever.
be very
created.
silly and very
It's a
funny.
fucking deer. It's the Nichijou deer scene, but as a whole show, and that's
Yeah.
based as fuck.
The
The
author
issue
probably the author of this probably saw that scene and went, "That's the funniest shit in my ever life. I'm gonna dedicate my entire life to writing a manga about this."
Yeah, there's
And then
just
they
so many
did.
rom-coms this season that I think are gonna be so wonderful.
I
and
see no
fun.
problem with this.
I know, but the issue is that but if I pick them, then I lose out on my PA work
I
shows.
heard
'cause none of them are
Tsunoharm's
the
really good
rom-coms.
too.
Yeah,
there's a
they-
lot of good romances this season. I've seen on Twitter that are just like popping off.
Because I think it'll be the funniest one to talk about first. I'm gonna take Maya Naka Punch.
Okay.
Maya Naka
That's one of the
Punch.
PA Works shows.
One of the 3 PA work
Oh, not
shows.
that.
Maya Naka Punch. Okay, there it is. Oh, this looks cute.
So that's vampires in it.
Amber, we have a vampire show. I don't know.
Mayanaka Punch.
Mayanaka Punch is what it's
Yeah,
called.
it's a comedy. So we're gonna do these right back to back. So
Alright, Sean.
My
the
first
sauce?
pick. We're doing it the way I wanted to, which is good. My first pick is Senpai is an Otonoke.
No Tokonoko.
Immediately
which one?
followed by Wistoria.
Wait, what were the two? Wait,
So
Senpai,
first, my
Motonoko?
senpai is an Otokonoko, and Wistoria Wand and Sword.
Ontaria. Oh, Wistoria.
Yeah, Wistoria Wand and Sword.
Okay,
That's
TTO.
the fantasy thing of this season. It's
Zeta's
Yeah.
watching. Zeta's watching. Oh god,
Oh,
it's
no,
so
no,
fucking fantasy. That's
It's
so like
ba-
early 2000s
It's so
fantasy looking
John.
ass.
It's so fantasy. It's Bandai Namco.
Fuck. It's Jover.
You said, John, you're not ready for how good this show's gonna look.
So I know
You
I said I
don't-
wasn't gonna pick a bunch of POR. So I'm picking Cheer for You next.
Yeah, I was gonna say you better fucking pick it. I want to watch this one.
No, I know.
I don't
I wasn't
wanna
sure if I
pick
wanted
it.
to save that one till third.
I'll cheer for you.
Keep doing. Yep,
Yeah,
cheer for you.
not a Cheer for You.
Not another cheer for you.
It's
Okay.
another one of PA Works shows.
I guess
This one
at
has
least
the
one
funny
show I'm
PA Works
interested in here,
poster.
which is fun.
It has the PA Works characters on a slope.
Mhm.
All right, Mason, what are we going with? What's the sauce?
You picking?
Okay.
You picking gay?
That's the
Or
tough
are you
one.
saving it for your third round pick?
I'm picking bangers only.
Third round, finish it up with gay. Always a
I
good
also
choice.
want to pick Suicide Squad Isekai because I do
I-
want.
That's right. We gotta
So
listen
that's
to
the
Kelly
thing
every week.
is, I think I'm gonna pick Suicide Squad Isekai just because I am legally obligated to pick the comic book show.
True, true. It's in the contract. Or else we gotta kick
Also,
Mason
just
from the show. for
it
violating
seems like it's gonna
contract.
be fun. If
From-
it's bad,
from
it's
what
bad.
I've-
But
so,
whatever. I'm gonna have a
I
good
will
time
say,
with at least
I
3
will say
episodes of it.
this: I have heard from people that this is the best Harley has ever been.
You know what is something
That's good to
crazy,
hear.
however, that I have heard about this from my friends who have checked it out. This is not dubbed.
That's shocking.
That's wild, in my opinion.
At least
English,
it's not being
this feels.
simuldubbed.
Because I have a couple of friends who do not like the fact that
But
they do not think
We're getting
certain
episode
things
6
translate.
of it.
Yep.
Mhm.
Oh, I
It's
forgot
ri-
this shit started like forever ago. Yeah.
It started at the end of June. Also, I think it dropped a couple in sequence.
Yeah, I think it dropped the first 3, and then
So
it's been
this show is
doing
largely
weekly.
going. This show also only has 10 episodes, but
Yeah.
Okay, John, we've come back around to you so quick.
I mean, I'm just gonna take. Anya sometimes has her feeling Russian. That's easy. That's free.
Alright.
The show looks so fucking funny. From all the bits I've seen about it, like the stepsister in the show apparently is like just absolutely goated. And from all the clips I've seen on Twitter, trying to avoid spoilers, but like there's only so much you can do sometimes. Holy fuck, this show's gonna be funny as shit. It's gonna have its stupid fucking lewd rom-com moments for like this type of show, but I'm hoping the comedy just carries it.
So before we go to the
Sure,
wheel, I
also
want
looks
to
so
highlight.
fun.
Before we go to the wheel, I want to highlight a couple of things we don't have picked yet from this season. We've picked 8 shows, and I want to highlight that we do not have Perry yet.
Okay.
Is that like a fencing
I'm
anime?
saying we do.
No.
we do
I
not
don't
have-
think we're gonna have that one.
we do not have pseudo harem.
Shh, spoilers.
We do not have elusive samurai.
He's elusive.
Oh yeah, that is this season. I keep forgetting that. It's
Mhm.
And I feel like those are like
also
kind
because
of
its title isn't.
yeah.
it's like
I do
title's
feel
really
like those are
weird.
probably like the 3 bigger shows that are like sitting here. Pseudo harem maybe is just me interjecting, but arguably Perry and
I haven't seen a lot of
and
Pseudo Harem.
Elusive are both pretty at least talked about shows here. But now we gotta go back to the wheel, ladies and gentlemen, because we gotta figure out who's picking first for the third order. That's like the person that this wheel lands on is
Gets to shoot a
picking
show.
first.
In
'Cause we're insane.
the third
There's
episode, in the third show
consistency.
pick.
It's the third show picks.
Oh,
It's Michael.
it
I
is
think.
It's
me.
Michael.
Okay.
I thought it was gonna be John, and I was gonna laugh.
This is like, man, I did.
Yeah, I don't know. So we'll let Michael think quick, and we'll find out who's picking second.
Yeah, I mean,
in
I
the
think
third
I know what I'm
round.
doing here. But
It's John.
Oh, yay. I get rewarded. for my
I
arrogance.
trust John to make the correct choice next. So
Okay.
Do you?
I do.
Mason.
Michael, I need you to remember.
You and me.
I've not looked at any of these shows so far this
No,
season.
no,
I've
you
got
know,
totally
I trust you. You're gonna make the right choice. Don't. I trust
Days
you.
of
Days
I'm
of
picking
Future
last.
Diary of my days at the brain.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wanted to pick last so that I could just bring up the rear with hot garbage.
Yeah, hit us with now we know especially isn't Alexa. I think it's like a series of shorts, the overweight elf one.
Yeah, no. I'm debating picking Grandizer, I'm not gonna lie.
Yo, Grandizer's gonna be peak though.
It's gonna be
Only
peak.
streaming
Tower
on
of God
what?
season 2, baby. No one
I'll
saw
be
it coming.
streaming in fucking Arabic, baby.
I'm taking Oshinoko season 2 because I couldn't take season 1.
So
What are you doing, Michael?
I trust John to make the right choice here.
That's a bad
for-
choice.
No, it'll be fine, cause it'll be fine. I'm gonna pick Makayine, Too Many Losing Heroines.
Good! I wanted to watch this. I'm very glad you picked it.
This one looks adorable.
I
This looks like it's
agree.
gonna be so fun.
Wait, isn't this where like they just all get rejected?
Yeah, they've all gone. I'm pretty sure it starts with them all watching them get rejected, and him going, "That's annoying. I want to make them feel like they are validated people."
What is the
And-
correct choice here? It is.
I no, you know what it is. You absolutely know what the correct choice is.
Yeah, I know exactly what John's gonna
Oh,
do.
I know the correct choice. I know the correct choice.
Ruined.
We're picking VTuber Legend. How I went viral for forgetting to turn off my stream. I know the correct choice, Michael.
You picking it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
There's no way
Full
we're not gonna
send.
get this show.
Full fucking send. We're picking the show. I saw like 3 clips. I'm like, oh shit, she me, but for real. I forgot about it for a second, but then I saw it was available. I'm like, that's the one, Michael. I don't think it's. I think you probably want me to pick Pseudoharum, but it's fine.
So this is rough because there's a lot of
Let me guess,
stuff.
Michael. You expected me to pick Pseudoharum,
Yes, that
There's
was
a-
like you're also happy with what I went with.
There's a lot of
No,
stuff.
that's fair. Vitor is gonna be hilarious.
There's a lot of stuff I want.
I went for comedy this season, and it's not gonna work out for me well, but I literally put
I'm
3
listening
comedy
to you,
shows,
John.
dude.
Don't
Mhm.
worry. I'm listening to you.
No, there's a lot of stuff I want, which is unfortunate.
Oh,
I
this season's gonna be a banger.
I
That's all I
don't think
know.
I'm gonna pick Grandizer as a meme, because I think there's legitimately good stuff here.
And I love seeing all
Um,
the AniList ratings be a whole like
So, yeah.
solid point lower than all of these. That's
I'm-
hilarious.
As much as I am tempted to really pick Bye Bye Earth, I think I'm just going to enjoy that in my own time because I already have Vestoria, and I don't particularly feel like running those two up against each other. Which then I think limits me to 2 or 3 separate things real quick.
I'm a little sad if I don't pick Pseudo. It's okay. There's so many romance this season. I can't really complain.
There's a lot of romance
This
this
is,
season.
it's definitely a season for me. Because summer is the season of romance here on the podcast. Watch 4 guys talk about shows that only John likes. Is a
okay,
genre.
So romance things we haven't picked. At least I know that definitely
Pseudo
are
harem.
romances. So we have Autry, My Dear Moments, Days
My
with My
Stepsister.
Stepsister, Love is Indivisible by
Depth
Twins.
Sister. Depth Sister.
Yeah, you
Love
heard
is
it.
Indivisible by Twins. My Wife Has No Emotion. Pseudo Harem. Okay, I think that's 8 here. That's like 5 shows. Yeah. Oh, and Twilight Out of Focus. That's also
Yeah, it's
romance.
a romance, baby.
that's gay romance, the best kind of romance.
Oh fuck. Sorry, I'm just. I'm debating
Once
what I
again,
want.
Yuri as a concept, pretty
No,
good. Yeah,
I'm debating what I
Yuri.
want to pick, and I just remembered that the Ramen Cat show is still available.
Yeah, you're right.
Ooh.
Ramen Akaneko does exist.
Oh, that's tricky. Because on one hand, on the other hand, there's the there's the Ava author mech show. That looks bad visually.
It's just gonna.
God, I dislike this immensely. I just have to pick something so that we can get it over with. I gotta coin something.
Dude, my
Oh,
list is a whole lot of fucking funniest on my list this season.
It's just literally 3 fucking comedies.
Why is everything I want so far away? I was gonna flip a coin, but I don't got a coin.
You got the VTuber show. I picked the Deer show.
I don't
and
got
got
any
the
dice
fucking
next to you.
Hyde the Russian
They're
show.
actually literally out of my arm's reach.
No,
Um,
I don't have any.
What do
I
you go
have a
with?
bunch of dice sitting in my dice tray right next to me.
Here,
Gotcha.
I have a D20 right here.
And now we can just sit down and watch them.
See,
Evan
I need.
Mulder is a
I
bit, and it's a
actually,
stupid bit that I'm not going to
I
explain.
actually need a D6, so I'm just gonna get mine.
Well, he better make some fucking time for the boys.
Oh, mind me. I'm just bringing out my dice. So 1 and 2 are going to one show, 3 and 4 are going to the other, and 5 and 6 is going to the third. 1! Okay, I'm taking Pseudo Harem.
Thank God.
Okay. Oh, okay.
The fact that we almost got out of here without that pick is crazy. It gets fair. There's a lot of good shows.
If you're curious, the other 2 shows I was between were Elusive Samurai, and Delilah in Bloom, or Dahlia in. Yeah.
A Dahlia and Bloom crafting a fresh start with a
Yeah.
magical something. So makes you
Okay.
pick a failure frame,
I am
right?
incredibly happy with my shows picks this season, no matter how they go. I'm gonna be honest, like I am actually thrilled to get
So
these
Ma-
3 shows.
Mason, you're picking
At least 2 of
Dad,
them.
You're picking Dad with 2 disaster orphans in fantasy.
Wait, Sean, what was your last
Yeah.
show again? I'm sorry.
Pseudo Harem.
Okay, you did go through. Oh, dude, I'm so happy with the season. It's just a bunch of rom-coms. Like,
I mean, I still got to pick.
Yes, give us
Nah, it's
another
okay.
rom-com. Do it.
give
Give
me one
us
rom-com.
something
rom-com.
to
You
focus.
won't pick Stepsister.
Pseudo Harem's not a comedy, by the way.
So
Doesn't
It
matter.
is labeled as a rom-com on any list.
Oh, good for it.
I am, funnily enough, between Days with My Stepsister because I've heard it's genuinely really
I've heard it's
solid.
generally good. So Austin said, right?
Yeah, that's what Austin said.
Yeah, but the last
Um,
Stepsister show was good until the last 3 episodes.
Yeah, exactly.
It was really good until it decided to just not be.
That's kind of a lower end pick, so it's probably not actually in there. So the things that I'm actually picking between are Elusive Samurai and Twilight Out of Focus.
I'm gonna have to watch a show in my own time.
Right?
Autry My Dear Moments looks so fun.
It's based
I
on a
don't-
visual novel, Michael.
That just looks like a good. It's by Troika. I remember what Troika's done. Like that's a name I recognize, which means it's a good thing, probably.
You know what?
Unless the overtakes. Okay, this shit's gonna be pretty as fuck.
I am going to submit to my baser instincts and pick Elusive Samurai.
Fair.
Understandable. You can only have so many
Ooh, but
days,
understandable.
so many
Boo.
seasons in a row.
I'm gonna
True.
boo you because
It's okay.
that's not
I
romance,
have the
but
buy
understandable,
show,
Mason.
so it's all gonna be fine.
I checked my box of my annual contractual obligations, so I'm happy.
You know, I saw a clip earlier today from Senpai's no Tokonoko.
What is this called?
I saw
Elusive
about
Samurai?
12 seconds of the clip. I was like, holy shit, this show's gonna be fucking amazing.
Uh-oh, Mason.
Like-
Warning. 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 Mason Victor Cloverworks show. Warning. Warning. Cloverworks.
I have become the Cloverworks guy, which is
Elusive is close.
It'll be okay.
I know,
Okay.
but it's Cloverworks. So I'll never trust them
So-
again after what they did to they bastardized one of my favorite romances.
So we're gonna do the quick rundown. We have in the order My Dear Friend Nokotan, Shoshimen, How to Become Ordinary, Mayanaka Punch, Senpai Isn't Otonoke, and then we're gonna
Noko.
No Tokonoko.
yeah, Otokonoko, yeah. And then we're gonna jump back to the start. Alya sometimes hides her feelings in Russian. And then it goes to Mason again. So Suicide Squad Isekai. Cheer for You. Nari Nari Cheer for You. Wistoria Wand and Sword. And then we go back down to VTuber Legend.
The show's gonna be so fucking funny, I feel like.
Elusive Samurai. Machine, Too Many Losing Heroines. And to round us out, Pseudo Harem.
It's gonna be a good season.
It looks like a really good season, and there's still
Sean,
stuff.
can you post that in the Discord before I, in 2 weeks, ask Sean what is the order for the shows?
I will do that tonight. I did not actually write it down. I will copy the list.
Okay.
They will be the next
Yeah.
thing I do when we're not live.
Thank you,
um,
Mr. Cian.
Yep, and I will have it right. I promise. But yeah,
If you don't, that's
so
okay. We'll forgive
we
you.
will. If you didn't know, we give these shows 3 episodes, and then we'd start. That is the typical plan. As long as nothing odd happens, that will be the plan. So, with that in mind, our latest starting show, just double checking, is Too Many Losing Heroines, which drops its episode today, tomorrow, technically, because it's the 13th already, but tomorrow, essentially. Which means We are looking probably at a start, probably first week of August, roughly, give or take. We'll make, it'll depend on schedules, but we'll be shooting for the first episode somewhere around the time of probably first weekend of August, or maybe like start of the week after. Give or take when we are able to get stuff done and how schedules look and yada yada. But that'll be the time frame. Everything will at least need to have 3 episodes out we are watching, which is why Mason avoided picking Delico Nursery.
Yes.
Because that show starts in August. Fuck us, I guess. Vampire baby show. But yeah, that takes us there. So welcome everybody. We will be getting ready for the next season then. But thank you for joining us. I am excited to have taken a second season in a row after my immense long drought of never having
Proud of you.
a victory on this podcast.
Good job,
'Cause
Sean.
if you didn't know,
Round of applause for Sean.
if you didn't know,
Welcome
I
back.
took last season with Dungeon Meshi, and before that, my other victory was a tie for first place between Jujutsu Kaisen and Akudama Drive, where Akudama Drive was my show. What crazy that it's been 4 years. Is that
Yeah.
right? 4 years since I've not exactly.
Like 3.5.
3.5 because
It's crazy
it
that
was
we've
fall.
been together on this podcast for almost 2 years now, right?
3. This will be 3 years because
Collectively.
my first season was summer 2021.
Brings a tear to my eye.
Which is part of
2
the
full
reason
years.
why I wanted to do another summer, is because it was when Mason started. We just happened to have not done one. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've been doing this technically 6 years, not officially. Unofficially 6 years, officially 4, I want to say. Winter 2019? No, winter 2020, I think.
That would make sense.
Is the official
Sure.
podcasting start. I want to say. Does that sound right, Michael?
Maybe.
Because that would
I
have
don't know.
been...
So trying to think of what was in the
Was
first
Dora
season.
Hedora the year before JJK? Or was it the
Yeah, no, it definitely
year-
was before
No,
that.
it was the year with JJK, right?
So I'm trying to think what the
No.
first thing we did was.
Was it the fall of 2019? I think it's fall 2019. That's the first
Was there?
season.
Sorry.
Because that would have been Dora Hedora. It would have been Dora Hedora. God, I don't even know what else was in that season,
Yeah,
right?
look at- yeah,
Because
yes,
it wasn't.
yes, fall 2019 had.
Or was it winter 2020?
Okay, so fall. We definitely did do it in fall, because that was when we got Orisuki, Assassin's Pride, Ascendance of a Bookworm, Stars Align, Guns Life, Azure Lane, Babylon.
Or a secret show I only watched on my own.
No, so we would have been doing before that, because Sherlock.
Case File. Yeah, Sherlock was that season.
No, or is that the continuation of Sherlock?
Oh,
Was it the
Oh, it
season
could have been.
before? Was it?
Either way, it's been a
Was it
minute.
summer?
let me look.
Oh, I
What
want to
was-
solve
so-
this now. We're
Teacher
gonna-
said, I don't
I liked
think
my
we
last run and run
did
Bud
that
Roxanne,
season
and now I'm
before.
back. Or Red Roxanne, now I'm back.
Yeah,
and
talk
I'm
about other
excited.
stuff you've been up to.
Yeah, I'm playing a lot of Run and Bun. That game's hard, but it's really fun. Super rewarding. I have a run going right now that just got back to Roxanne. I'll probably be doing that after bedtime tonight. Maybe we'll see.
No, we didn't do
But,
it that season before. It
What
it
about
was that
hurts?
fall that started.
Run and Bun hurts my brain. I'll tell you that.
So then Sherlock was after.
No, Sherlock was that season. Sure,
Oh, okay. I remember it being
or Sherlock
before.
started like super late and is considered technically in that time frame.
Ooh, that might have been it. So we said fall 2019? God.
No, because
These are
was top 3 not Stars Align, Orisuki,
Yep.
Sherlock? Was it not
Bench,
those
dude.
3?
I miss Bench. These were
Yeah.
simpler times in anime.
And me and you had Orisuki at 3. Nathan and other people had Stars Align at 3. I mean, and like
Sherlock. just
everyone
took it
had
with
Sherlock
twos.
at 2, and then I had Sherlock at 1, which is a crazy
Or-
thing for me
or
to have done.
Elvis also might have had it at 1. Back in
Again,
that day.
thinking back, it's a crazy thing we did. Crazy thing I did there.
kind of griefed
If
it.
you want to know the quality anime has jumped since 2019. Or bottom of the
Right there.
barrel shows that season where Africa No Salaryman. That's a hot take apparently, according to some people. I met a man in the wild who knows what Africa No Salaryman is. Crazy. Azure Lane, Rifle is Beautiful, Assassin's Pride.
I think it's just the sheer number of shows, honestly. More
Special.
than
I mean,
anything.
yeah, there were not nearly. Well, no, they were probably.
The overall like low level is higher, but there's also so many more shows now too.
But like things we missed that season that we absolutely should have picked. Yeah, there's like one. It was Beastars.
Aruma-kun.
Yeah, Iruma-kun. But I looked at Aruma and went, "That looks like gonna be the most generic bullshit ever," and it probably was, but it was pretty good.
We actually didn't pick Bookworm, right?
No, we did. Absolutely picked Bookworm.
You said you voted off too soon, Sean. Remember?
Yeah.
Bookworm went off at like 6 or something, which is
Okay.
a crazy thing for it to do. Bookworm's
Technically,
probably my favorite thing from that season.
Arahi no Sora
that
started
I've
that
finished.
season.
My
Yeah,
favorite
that was
this
also
season is
when I
definitely
heard
Orisuki, but that's for other reasons. Because it's the only one I've probably seen from that season.
Where's Suki?
Jaifu
It's
3
fine.
came out that season,
Orisuki.
but that doesn't count for the podcast.
Yeah, Psyche season 3, I think, happened.
I mean,
Food Wars
still...
4th plate.
I love
Oh,
Psyche.
Cautious
It was a
Hero
great
started.
show.
Cautious Hero was that season.
What show's pretty
And I forgot
cool,
Cautious Hero was
wasn't
actually kind of good.
Beastar's first season's crazy. It's actually
Yeah,
really
Beastars is
Beastars is
fucking
probably
wonderful.
the biggest bitch for that
We just
season
didn't
by
pick it
far.
because it was the furry show and
It was a furry
CG,
show.
and that was when we had a
I
group
was
that absolutely
not-
would have voted it week 1 for being CG.
good. And for being furry. You don't know
Yeah.
that, but that absolutely would not have got out of week 1, Michael. Let me tell you that secret.
Yeah,
that was
that's
not...
crazy. Beastars, yeah, no, Beastars is absolutely the best show from that
If
season.
we picked
But
Beastars,
Bookworm's
at least
wonderful.
2 people might have quit that podcast, which would have been really funny. It would have been a much better
Good,
podcast.
good hit.
You know what would have happened if 2 people quit the podcast that season? Izuku would have won the next one.
Yeah, so yeah, 'cause their top there was
Or
those.
whatever.
Number 4, I think, was No Guns Life.
No, it didn't get that far.
It was like 4 or 5. It was there until we watched like right up to the end of that.
Oh god, you're right, because everything else did not get anywhere
Everything
near
else was
it.
yeah, everything else was bad. We had a lot of
Yeah.
really. That was when we picked Special 7 that season.
It was Bookworm definitely
guys-
got up there.
Do you guys like my little bookcase over there that's hiding the little plushies now?
Yeah, it's
I
adorable.
think that's
Everyone
also we had.
put
I
Eye in
think
there,
that's
so
yeah.
Eye is
No, I
now
think we
also
did
stuck in
pick
the
Send My
box.
Hero's Piece of Truth.
Yes. But, ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you for joining us. We have our show selection. I will have it posted for the rest of the gang later. I will have to go because I need to eat and shower and then be up so
Fair.
that I can make my drive down to my buddies in the morning.
Please drive
But
safe.
I'm excited because I'm going to start kicking into a lot of this stuff. Probably pretty soon. Probably on my day off on Wednesday, I'm going to just start. Because I'm really excited about the urge to not immediately watch the first episode of Wistoria and Senpai is crazy for me. Because I'm very excited.
This
about
should
both
be
these
the
shows.
order.
I'll
Unless
let
I
you know.
got people's pick order that are because that should be John, Mason, me, Sean.
Yep,
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that
I think I
looks
got everyone's
right.
shows correct.
yep, that's right.
It was so quickly after I was able to just immediately jot them in.
Nice work.
Yes,
Michael.
some of these titles aren't exactly. This is how I title things.
Yeah.
I will, if you want, I
Hey,
can
it's
get.
legible. We'll take it.
It's some of these were me being nice with the things. Sean has complained about my titling before. Hashtag daughter nest moment.
Wait, what?
S-rank
Oh, yeah, S-rank daughter.
That's right. Yeah, the words daughter and nest are in that title, so that's just how I remembered that show.
Yeah,
Is daughter nest.
Yeah, daughter nest.
And then Sean in one of the episodes went, I didn't know what show this was, and he was pulling off his power ranking. What the fuck is daughter
What the
nest?
fuck's daughter nest? It's over, man. But everybody have a great night. We will see
good
you
one.
at the beginning of August.
Yeah, if you want to watch me and my run button, come watch Bye.
Link to John's Twitch is
Yeah,
in the
come watch me.
description.
It's
of
actually
every
been